to Charm Chat, where we're chatting about episodes 7 and 8. We're flying through these episodes, you know, so quick. But these ones are so good. Two brilliant episodes because we pair them together so well. Right, I'm just going to add Josh in. I've just seen Josh pop up. Josh in the UK, shining through the window. I'm like, need my sunglasses. I'm like a little vampire. Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Hello. You okay?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too
The
bad.
Charm Chat Day.
Charm Chat. I cannot wait to talk about these two
Me
episodes
too.
because we pair them so well
We
together.
pair them brilliantly. I know.
It's like we were the
Ever
writers
since,
of the show.
yeah. Ever since we started doing Charm Chat, I was so excited to chat about these two. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great that the day has finally
Oh,
arrived.
I love that. I love that you was like really excited to get to these.
Yeah.
That's
And
brilliant.
then also the next one, episode 9, I'm so excited to talk about as well. So,
I
whoa,
can't wait. I
it's
can't
getting
wait.
good.
Yeah, because I think this must be where I started watching Charm because I remember the H2O episode, but we'll get into that. But
Yeah.
I do remember, so I'm wondering whether this is where I got hooked. And
Yeah.
no wonder it hooked me. There were two brilliant episodes. Hi
Totally.
everyone.
Hello.
um, yeah, so Charm Chat is every month. Josh and I dust off our witches' hats, grab our book of shadows, head back to the 90s and rewatch Charmed. So Charmed is a TV series that ran from 98 to 2006, and it follows three sister witches, Prue, Piper and Phoebe, who juggle their everyday lives with saving innocents from meddling demons.
What are they like?
I know. And both Josh and I were and still are huge Charm fans, if you haven't guessed by now. And it's just been wonderful diving into this second season because I think Charmed really found its stride in the second season, definitely. And it's
Yeah.
just great chatting with you guys as well on these live chats.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've launched our podcast. Josh has been working really hard behind the scenes, getting all of the episodes up and making it fun, editing it all down, all our ramble.
Yeah.
But yeah, do check it out. We've, I think we're available on most podcast
It should be.
platforms.
Yeah.
And just pop a little review on and give us a little
Yeah.
yay.
We'd love it if you gave us a 5-star rating, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But obviously, our heart is with our live chat. So we figured
Yeah.
out a way how to record it at the same time. So that's what we're
Yeah.
doing because we'd never give up the live chats. We might do a few little
There's the
podcast
there's the
exclusives.
microphone. You see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what that big thing was then, Josh.
Oh, ding dong.
Ding dong. Oh, so obviously last month we chatted all things episodes 5 and 6 with She's a Man, Baby, a Man, and that old black magic. And there was a good episode and a mixed episode there.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
obviously this time it's episodes 7 and 8, and we'll be breaking down each episode into categories for the chat. So Demon of the Week, Love is Pain, Sister Bond mythology. And it was pretty difficult with these two episodes because they were just so good that it was
Yeah.
hard to categorize it and so much happens.
So much
So
happening.
I'm sure we'll go into it. But do get involved in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts or try and read them out. And if you're watching the playback as well on YouTube or on Instagram, please feel free to comment. I'm always happy to chat Charmed anytime. And Josh
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
So should we get started because we've got
Let's
a
go.
lot to chat about. Woohoo! So episode 7 is called They're Everywhere.
Are they talking about us? We're everywhere.
We're just everywhere.
We are.
Like your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So the charmed ones must save Eric, a young man who has uncovered the location of one of the greatest sources of power in the world. And I should have practiced saying this, but it's the Akashic Records. No, I butchered that. Say it, Josh.
You're almost there. Isn't that the Akashic
Akashic.
𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐲'𝐫𝐞.
That
Yeah.
sounds better than mine. So
Yeah. What did you say? The quiche?
a quiche,
Oh.
like a yummy quiche on a
Delicious.
warm summer's day.
Yeah. The font of all knowledge, a quiche.
So makes me hungry now.
Yeah.
So yes, he's discovered those records basically,
Right.
and there's so basically he's discovered it from this tablet that he's seen in a museum, I take it was. And then there's some knowledge stealing warlocks called the Collectors, who are after the power that these records can give someone, because it's like an ancient tablet from ancient times. Meanwhile, Phoebe is currently working at a local hospital where Eric's dad is currently in the hospital in a coma. Very dramatic.
Yeah.
And after getting a premonition that something bad is going to happen to Eric, she knows she has to try and protect him. And then also, meanwhile, Prue and Piper suspect that Jack from the previous episode and Dan, choo-choo, on that train, Dan, they suspect that they might be warlocks, and they cast a spell that make them capable of hearing other people's minds. Ooh. So shout out in this episode as well to the jam-packed with, like, you know, unknown actors at the time, I'm guessing, so who went on to become big names. So obviously Eric is played by Misha Collins, Supernatural, who subsequently, I think he plays a angel in Supernatural.
Yeah, I've forgotten what his name is,
Is it
but
Celestial
he was like a huge
or something like that?
Yeah, that means
But he's very, very young in this episode.
So young.
So young.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is it him?
Yeah.
And then we've also got Dean Norris in this episode, Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Who looks about the same as he did in Breaking Bad, to be honest.
He does. He's looked the same for about 30 years.
But
he was also in Total Recall, the Arnold Schwarzenegger film.
Was
as
it?
He was one of the mutants on Mars, working in that bar that he goes into.
Oh, okay, I need to rewatch that. Because Hank is like my favourite character from Breaking Bad. Oh, he was just my favourite. I loved him.
Is he in it from the beginning of Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I never finished Breaking Bad, so I kind of recognised him, but I'd forgotten what part he played in it.
You need to finish it, Josh!
It was just so depressing.
Oh, I think... I never get enough subject, but with Breaking Bad, I think it got better each season, because season 1 and 2 I struggled with. And then as soon as it hit stride in series 3, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm on it. And then the whole Hank storyline is just shit.
Okay.
Brilliant. But yeah. I only watched it a couple of years ago, to be fair.
Oh, all right.
And then obviously we've got Lachlan Monroe, who's reprising his role as Jack Sheridan, with a twist that we will get to. So we'll start with Demon of the episode. So obviously the demons was called the Collectors. There was 2 of them. And apparently...
Collector number 1, collector number 2.
Yeah, and that's what they're credited it as, aren't they? Collector number 1. They didn't even give them names. They just like called them Collector 1, Collector 2. Could have been like Bob and Rob or something like that.
I would have loved that.
They gave the other demons like really dodgy names, but you know, poor Collector 1 and Collector 2 were just like, we can't think of any name for them.
Yeah.
So they drain people's brain for knowledge. Oh God, imagine them going in my brain. They'd poke me with their finger in a clean way and come straight back out.
In the head, nowhere else.
Yes. So the Collectors can obviously transform their index fingers into needles, and they use that to absorb others' knowledge. At some point, they did look like carrot fingers.
They did. One of them looked quite orange in the later scenes, I thought.
Yeah.
And I got flashbacks to the key finger from season 1.
Oh,
remember the key finger when the neighbours are like shapeshifters and one of them turns their finger into a dodgy key?
Yeah.
Which is very handy. But yeah, it looked a bit funny,
Yeah.
didn't it?
So yeah, so they like to use their little needle carrot fingers. It's very random.
Oh,
And they obviously absorb their victims' knowledge, and they can also use their power as well to fully or partially restore their victims' knowledge. So if they've taken the knowledge out, they can put it back, which I
yeah,
thought was quite interesting.
yeah,
Um, and they've got like a regeneration power as well. They kind of seem like indestructible. Like they get shot at one point
they
and
do.
come
Yeah.
back to life. And they've got the classic blinking powers, which we've come to know and love as well. So what did you think of the collectors as like evil warlocks? Were they scary?
The thing is, like talking about the blinking power, I think that's what really gives them the edge. Because
Mm,
I think like the blinking power is one of my favorite powers in Charmed, and I think they do it so well in this episode. Because there's that one set piece where the sisters are at the hospital, they're trying to rescue Eric and his dad, and the warlocks are there, and the warlocks sort of like zip around like whirling dervishes, like they blink in, they grab the dagger from Prue, then they blink into the hospital room and they threaten Piper with the dagger, and then they like blink out and get take the dad and something. I don't know. There's a lot going
yeah,
on,
there's a lot
but
of
it's such
blinking.
an yeah, there's a lot of blinking. But it's such an awesome set piece because it's like the powers are so difficult to navigate around. And, you know, if you could blink in and out of a spot at the blink of an eye, you would be so powerful. You could get so much done.
Yeah, yeah, you'd save so much time.
You really would.
Yeah, that's so true. And even
So
like at the end as well, in that scene in the park, I know we're jumping ahead a bit, but even that they were using that blinking power more than the finger power,
they
really.
were. Yeah, they were. And also, that was a thing that did confuse me a bit was when in that final scene that you're talking about, one of the warlocks blinks out and disappears, but he can still communicate with the other warlock who is still there. So is he still
Yeah.
hanging around, or
Yeah,
is he
where do
somewhere
they
else? Or
go?
that was a bit confusing.
Yeah, so they obviously blink and it's like an
Where do they go?
invisibility, I guess.
That's what it seemed like they were doing, but that's different. Obviously, that's a different power to blinking. Surely
Mm,
that was a bit confusing.
yeah, it was a little
Frankly,
bit.
yeah,
What did you think of them, like when they got shot and they could just regenerate, re-heal quickly? I was
that
like,
was cool.
whoa, that's pretty
That was
cool.
cool. I was a bit more like shocked that Eric, played by Misha Collins, he's attacked by the warlocks and they're like trying to stick their finger in his head, and then Prue and Phoebe come running in to save him, and they kind of get the warlocks off of Eric, and then Eric like runs to a cabinet, puts his hand in a drawer, takes out a gun, and then just shoots them like basically point blank range. But they're not even attacking him anymore; they're just in the room. I thought it was like slightly OTT from Eric to just,
Yeah,
yeah,
because Eric was a little bit like I think one of the sisters say like I'm not liking him very much at the
yeah, yeah.
moment because he was a bit aloof. Is that the right word? A
He was
bit,
a bit aloof, a bit of a
yeah,
doof.
yeah, aloof
Yeah,
and a doof.
he was
Oh
aloof
dear.
and a doof. Yeah, but yeah, the Warlocks. I felt like yeah, the blinking was really cool. They they could be the worst kind of charm villain because they are just as we talked about guys in suits. It's kind of quite a lazy sort of, I guess,
Mm,
in terms of appearance, it's quite a lazy thing for them to do. But they actually have like quite good banter, I thought.
yeah,
Like there's that
like
moment
between
when,
them.
yeah, between them there's like a few little moments where they clearly are having a bit of fun. Like one of them, collector number one says, "We'll get to his mind through his heart," and the other collector goes, "Oh, very nice." It's like a bit of humour. They've got a sense of humour.
Yeah, okay. We like a warlock with a
Yeah,
sense of humour, definitely.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. They've just.
Yeah, what did you think of them?
Oh, I thought they were okay. Like the finger thing just took me out.
Oh,
Like just because it just looked too orange
yeah,
for me. But I have to say, I agree with you. They did have a little bit of banter between them, and I
yeah,
was like, I can see why they made it two warlocks in this one because they
yeah,
didn't really like help each other, as in trying to get Eric or to do it. it just felt like they were more like best mates on like a night out. Or like, we're
Let's
going
get
to
some
absorb
knowledge.
his power.
Yeah.
But yeah, the banter between them did make me laugh. And it wasn't
Yeah.
even like a one-upmanship banter. It was more like, yeah, just they're both impressed by each other. And I kind of
Yeah, they're
like
like
that.
buddies.
Yeah.
You wonder how long they've been going around collecting powers and stuff and
Yeah. I
like
wonder how
searching
much
because
knowledge was in there.
yeah, how much knowledge was in those heads?
Mm.
I don't
And it
know.
would have been cool, right, if so they can absorb the knowledge through their finger and then they can put it back into their victim. But
Yeah,
could they put other people's knowledge in other people's heads? That would have
yeah.
been cool. Like,
They
I
could
want
have,
to know more.
yeah, they could have done like a whole business based on, trying
Yeah,
to steal knowledge from people to give them to other people. Knowledge is
yeah.
power, so
You could just call their business fingering.
we're
They'd
gonna
get a
get
lot of
kicked off, aren't we?
business.
We're gonna get banned.
Sorry, Instagram. Oh dear. But yeah,
I
you
would be
never
down
know.
for that. They could call it
You'd be
like
down for what,
I'd be
Josh?
down for that, totally, yeah. Well, they could call themselves Finger Inc., like Finger
Oh,
Incorporated, because then it'd be like fingering,
yeah. That
you know?
sounds good. We thought about this too much,
We
haven't we?
have. We have. What did you
um,
think about, sorry, I know you're hosting this one, but
no, no,
what
carry on.
did you think, what did you think about the way that they were vanquished in the end? Because Piper freezes them, doesn't she?
Yes.
Mid, mid finger
And
in.
then they move them together and they're like,
They zap each other in the brain, yeah.
well, wouldn't that just pass each other's knowledge onto each other? Like, I didn't quite understand how it vanquished them. Was it
Yeah.
just brain overload? Like they had that much knowledge between them that they just combusted because they couldn't deal with it. So that was the only thing I was like, oh, okay, that was
Yeah.
simple.
They seem like the most lethal brain freeze in the world. They just
Yeah,
they just exploded from how much knowledge was coursing through the two of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, if we have too much knowledge, that's what
Yeah.
happens.
Isn't that what Prue says? But
I
that's
just,
like Prue's lesson of the week at the end of the episode is too much knowledge, whether it comes from the Akashic Records or other people's heads, is just dangerous stuff.
there we go.
So yeah, you're right,
Now we
Shelley.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think? Did you think they were vanquished too easy then?
I thought it was a bit easy, and also I didn't really understand how the fact that they were vanquished, therefore restored Phoebe and
Mm,
Eric and his dad. I didn't really understand how that
yeah,
happened
yeah,
because yeah, I guess was the power in their finger, and the finger was destroyed, so all the knowledge went from their fingers back into the original
yeah,
people who had it. I don't know.
yeah. Because obviously Phoebe, she obviously gets zapped by them during this confrontation at the
Yeah,
end,
it's
and she
quite
loses three
scary.
weeks, doesn't she, of her
Yeah,
memory?
yeah,
She mentioned
yeah.
the last thing that she remembers is a Halloween party, and I'm like, we
Oh,
missed out because I want to see that episode with the
that's
Halloween
exactly
party.
what I was going to say. Because we don't get a charmed Halloween until season 3.
No,
So it's like the third year
we've
they
missed
finally do
out.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
I'm sure there's fan fiction out there that there's like
yeah.
season 2
If not,
Halloween.
we'll have to
Let's
make it
do
up.
it.
Because that party would have been wild.
So fun.
Oh dear. So yeah, so with what I was going to say about Phoebe was it
Yeah.
must have been completely scary to then lose, well, she wouldn't remember, I guess, but to me, losing 3 weeks and then you've got like that inkling of deja vu
Yeah.
at the end where she obviously sees Eric again and they obviously have that little moment like it's meant to be. But
Hmm.
it must be weird, right? I was a bit
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not sure. Poor
I
Phoebe.
know.
Bless
And
her.
they in the next episode, P3H2O, they lose their memory briefly again as well.
Yeah.
So she's probably being like, what day is it? Where am I? What is going on? I don't have any memory of anything, apparently.
Oh dear. Can you bear with me just one
Yeah.
second? Because for some reason, my podcast link has just gone awry.
Oh, it's saying you're offline.
Yeah, let me
Oh
just see what's
no.
happened.
You're offline, Shelley.
I know. 1 second.
It's still recording, but
Is it?
yeah, you're not on it for some reason.
Yeah. It says I've got no internet, but
Got
I'm
no
on the
internet.
internet.
Oh yeah, aren't we on the internet right now?
Bear with me. Let's talk about
Sorry, everyone.
stuff.
Yeah.
1 second. Sorry, guys. Just noticed it out of the corner of my eye. It only just happened, so I don't think we've lost much.
One of the things that I thought was really cool was
Yeah.
that Phoebe got to kick ass.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
she,
yeah. Phoebe.
like that's like another funny thing that the warlock says. He calls her Bruce Lee's little sister.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That line made me laugh.
Yeah. I feel like this episode felt like the most like a season 1 episode of Charmed, because it
Yeah.
was Phoebe like being linked up with an innocent of the week and having sort of like an emotional rapport with the innocent. And you've
Yeah.
got like the spell hijinks that we'll get into in a bit, and the work drama going on with Prue.
Yeah.
And there's Phoebe talking to the innocent about what it's like to have powers, which kind of felt like Prue's chat with Max in Secrets and Guys last
Oh,
year.
yeah. I thought it did feel like slightly familiar, I have to
Yeah.
say. Right.
So yeah, it did kind of feel like this was very similar to a season 1 episode, but it was almost like a jazzed up season 2 Charmed kind of version of that.
No, I agree, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
That's all right.
Bear with me, guys.
You're coming back online.
Am I? Am I back?
It says you're experiencing
yes,
some
I'm
connection
back.
issues.
I think it says recording in progress, my end now.
Yeah. You're in.
So, I'm back, right.
Back in the room.
Whatever I did, I fixed it.
Well done.
Sorry, guys. Thanks for bearing with me.
I'll keep an eye on it. Just in
Yeah,
case.
I just noticed it out of the corner of my eye, but I think it only just happened. So, anyway, sorry, guys.
So Spainer is an error not recording.
Oh.
I hope it's recording.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop it and start again.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, everyone.
You've got a front row seat to a podcast recording.
The curses of trying to record at the same time.
Yeah. All right.
While that's doing that, I'll read some comments out.
All right, yeah, good idea.
Let's have a look. Let's go back. Sharon put syringe fingers.
Yeah.
That's what they were like. Oh my god. Claire said, I like this episode. Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah. Matthew said, that's so funny that he played an angel on Supernatural because he kept asking Phoebe if she was an angel. Yeah. And she said no, but she could introduce him to one. That's so true.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Kirsty said, I've just seen Project Hail Mary, so in the car listening on my way home. Oh, I hope that was good. Right, let's just, there we go. Should be back on.
Try again.
Matthew said, never watched Breaking Bad. Sharon said, I gave up on Breaking Bad, too depressing and not enough gore for me. Yeah. Oh, there is, at the end of series 3, though, there is like a really gory bit.
Is that with the turtle, the tortoise?
No, it's something to do with the hospital and someone getting blown up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can't
don't want to give it away,
sure if
just in case. Yeah. We're back online now for our thing. Yeah, perfect. Right, any problems, just let me know.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Speed Ratchet said, yes, the key fingers, yeah.
Yeah.
Sharon said, who has a gun in a hospital room?
I think he was in his apartment, wasn't he, at that point?
Oh, was he?
I think
thought it was the hospital room.
Was it?
No.
Oh, maybe I'm probably
No, it couldn't have been right. It couldn't have been. It must have been the apartment.
I mean, his dad had been attacked.
Yeah.
Because the warlocks had attacked his dad and taken his mind away. So maybe he was being doubly cautious.
Yeah. And then Claire said, most warlocks can't be hurt by guns, can they?
Yeah.
Yeah, possible.
You don't really get guns and charms that much.
No, it's quite rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite rare.
Now that Andy's not around, sort of
Yeah,
shooting
poor
everything in
Angie.
sight.
Kirsty said, I'd totally forgotten Misha was in Charmed. Yeah, me too. I was like,
Yeah,
it was a lovely
there he
surprise.
is.
So obviously the Warlocks, they took Eric's dad's mind and now he's in a coma, like we mentioned. And obviously they're after Eric to decipher this book of ancient prophecies of the future of the world. And Eric kind of worked out the code for his father. So what were your thoughts on Eric? Like, do you think he was clever or do you think he was just like, meh? Like, did you like him? What did you think?
I kind of wasn't super fussed. I did feel a little bit like he was quite unsympathetic. But that's on one hand. But then on the other hand, he's going through something really traumatic. His dad's in hospital. They clearly have a really strong bond, and he's determined to help his dad, get his dad back, and like save the day basically. But I didn't fully understand exactly. I mean, at the beginning of the episode, Eric he doesn't know about warlocks, does he? He's just
No.
aware that his dad collapsed, and he saw his dad being attacked, and then he collapsed and he's in a coma. But Eric is still like trying to solve the Akashic, whatever it is, tablet thing in the
Prophecy
museum.
tablet thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was he doing that because he thought that it would bring his dad back, or was he just doing it to complete his dad's work? Or
I think he did it because he thought it might bring his dad back. That's the impression I
right,
got. Like,
yeah,
or because he does. Obviously, he mentions his dad quite a lot, doesn't he?
yeah,
And I think he was doing it for his dad, maybe not
yeah.
so much that he thought his dad was going to come back out of the coma. He wanted to finish the code, crack the code, to kind of do him proud, I guess. And then the bonus was he did get him back in the end.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
I
he
think
didn't seem.
there was just a lot. There's so much going on in this episode that it kind of felt like he got a bit lost in it. He was in lots of scenes, but I didn't fully understand exactly what his deal was.
Yeah. I was just going to
Yeah.
say, though, he didn't seem fazed by the
No.
warlocks and I think there's a scene when the sisters walk in saying something about warlocks and he's at the house and he doesn't bat an eyelid basically.
No.
So he takes everything in his stride a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It made me a little bit sus about him. I was like,
What
is he
what are
who
you
he
doing?
says?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also thought it was a bit strange how he thought that so he destroys the tablet towards the end of the episode, doesn't he? Smashes the thing in the museum and he takes the tablet out and smashes it on the floor.
It was rah!
And like one that really upset me because it was sort of like that was a priceless piece of history destroyed. But two, it was like, did he not? Surely there are pictures of that tablet in existence.
Yeah, that's true.
It would have been recorded by curators and put on the website and things like that. So destroying it didn't seem like it would actually remove it from the world completely.
Yeah, I agree on that. And also, weren't security slow? Like, he smashes the glass, the alarms go off, and then
everyone
he
looks very
smashes the
upset,
tablet.
but no one does anything.
Everyone's just like watching him do it. And then as they run off, someone goes, "Get security!"
Yeah.
Like the security weren't bothered.
Yeah, they were like, we didn't like it anyway.
No, definitely not.
Clean up on aisle 3. It was made such a mess with that red dust everywhere.
It was like red dust, muddy, and
Eric.
Oh, Eric.
Yeah.
So I've kind of combined the sister bond, love is pain, and work it together because there was quite a lot going on.
Yeah, it's all really interlinked in this episode.
Yeah, so I thought let's start with Piper.
Yes.
So obviously Dan has invited Piper to come along to a friend's wedding, I believe it was. Yeah. And Piper is taking some sexy lingerie.
Sure is.
And Dan wants her to be ready in an hour so they can relax when they get there. Sexy Dan!
Dan, what have you got planned? What's Dan's plan?
So it kind of sounds like things are getting slightly serious.
Yeah.
For Dan.
at the end of the previous episode, was that when Piper said to Leo, "We can't be together anymore," and she kind of
Yeah.
commits herself to Dan essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She has to make that decision. She can't be dealing with both of them, can she?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And obviously Leo just comes and goes whenever he wants, dinging and donging all over the place, as we
yeah.
see from the next
We
episode.
do, yeah,
So obviously it's getting pretty serious with Dan, but he does mention that he can't seem to get past that front door, and I'm like, he's
yeah.
so right. He's always in the front door.
He is. I think there's only well, we know that there was that one moment in She's a Man, Baby, a Man where he was in the hallway with Manny, Prue as a man, and
Yeah.
Manny is like copying Dan. Like, oh my God, it's such a tongue twister. Manny is copying Dan's mannerisms. So he got as far as the hallway in that episode. But yeah, he
Yeah.
rarely gets to come in and just chill out on the couch or anything.
No, poor thing.
Yeah.
So are you happy to see that things are now moving forward for Piper and Dan? Like, are you like Leo who?
I am, yeah. I mean, I do like Dan because he's just like a regular normal guy. Obviously, he has awesome hair. The curtains are very cool, and he's just nice, and his focus seems to be entirely on Piper and
Yeah.
doing things that are nice for her and doing things together. Whereas Leo, it's so fraught and sort of star-crossed, and there's
Mm,
always some kind of supernatural thing getting in between them.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm liking Dan. I'm liking him right now.
Yeah. Oh,
What
brilliant.
what do you think?
I'm really liking Dan.
Ah, because last
I
season you
love
were like gung ho for
him.
Leo.
Yeah, but I was like, I think I did say I'm on the choo choo Dan
You're on the Dan
train,
train.
but I'm like, I do think he's good for Piper. I
He
feel like
is.
he's bringing out a good side of Piper.
Yeah, like it's nice to
Um,
see her smile.
yeah, she doesn't seem like torn inside. Like she just wants to enjoy it in the moment, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, and she's kind of because late in later seasons, as we talked about before, Piper becomes quite obsessed with wanting a normal life
Mm,
outside of witchcraft. And I think even as early as this, Dan kind of represents that for her.
yeah,
Um, Although I did note, I was a bit like, come on, Piper. Was like, so Piper obviously now is interested in Dan, but she's kind of pulling a bit of a Prue from season one on Dan in the way that Prue treated Andy, in the way that it's like,
yeah.
oh, I've got a family emergency, sorry.
Yeah, like she's not really letting him in on the secret as it's
Yeah,
mentioned in the next episode. Like she can't tell him, can she?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh yeah, I get
I'm,
what you mean there. There's always a always an emergency, and Dan's just like,
I'm an easygoing guy.
yeah, he just takes it
Yeah.
really.
He just, he's like, fine, I'll go home and sit around in my vest top and drink a beer and eat cereal. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, the way he ate that little Fruit Loop.
Oh
Oh,
God, yeah,
he can
yeah.
eat my Fruit Loop.
You could eat many of my Fruit
He
Loops.
did eat it quite. I know it wasn't in this episode, but he did
Yeah,
eat it quite like
it was
like with a little
irresistible,
twinkle in
Shelley.
his little eye.
And I mean, we'll get into the next episode, but at the end, the very end of the next episode, when he does that eating the cereal, he's at the back door, and he still doesn't get
Yeah.
in the house.
No, like
They
she just
still go
takes him
outside.
out. Oh, bless Dan. He does
Impossible.
try. He does
Yeah,
try. Bless him.
I did love the fact that Piper immediately, even though Dan seems like the perfect normal guy, Piper is worried that he might be a warlock. And
Yes.
that worry is what sets
Yeah. Because
the
Kit hisses at him as well.
yeah,
Kit the
because
cat.
there's like an
Kitty, is
early
it? Kit the
conversation.
cat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Is
Kit,
it Kit? Yeah, I
Kit
think it
Cat,
is, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
Kit Kat.
who was
So
quite
yeah,
badly CGI'd into the Manners
it was so
hallway.
bad. Why did they
Copy and
do
pasted.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, you're right. Like Kitty starts hissing at Dan, and
yeah.
Piper's a bit like,
Oh
"Ooh,
no.
what's going on here?" Because Prue's kind of put that idea in her head at the
Yeah,
beginning of the episode, saying that Jack,
her
um,
colleague.
yeah, keeps like appearing out of nowhere, like at the newsstand where she was at and things like that. So Prue and Piper kind of start getting a little bit paranoid about them
Yeah.
being warlocks.
I love that
Um,
though, because you totally would be.
yeah, you'd be suspicious.
It's like the magical equivalent of wondering what your new boyfriend's big dark secret might be. Like, what's the weird thing that they do that you
Yeah,
don't know about yet? And
yeah,
if you're a witch, you will always be thinking, what if that big bad thing is actually that you're a warlock and you're plotting to kill me in my sleep?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But they kind of they cast a spell, don't they? So it's to hear secret thoughts spell,
Yeah.
basically to find out, if Dan and or Jack are warlocks. And they
Hmm.
they say it's for protection, not personal gain, which is like I liked how
Yeah.
they repeated that. This is for protection. It's not personal gain. We're not gaining anything from this.
I kind of,
Mm,
I don't know, I kind of believe that.
do
I kind of
you?
feel like you're kind of allowed to protect yourself against potential
Yeah.
warlocks. Yeah,
But they were doing it personally as
they were.
well.
They completely and 100% were.
Oh, so obviously they cast this spell. They can hear people's thoughts, and so they kind of briefly get this like, they can hear each other's thoughts and they're talking to each other through the thoughts, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like the first instance in the show where that's
Yeah.
been done. I don't think we've seen that before.
They've
Um,
never, the closest they've come to that is Barbara's reading people's fears, but
yeah.
never mind reading.
Yeah, but it was hilarious, right? What did you
Yeah.
think of this? Did you find it funny? Because I was just laughing.
It
Just
was,
the thoughts that they were hearing.
yeah, I can't believe it took them this long to do sisters hearing each other's thoughts because it feels
Yeah.
like such a sort of obvious concept for Charmed to do.
Hmm.
I can't think like obviously Buffy did it in season 3, but I think Charmed
Yeah.
got there first. Is
Yes,
season
this would have been
season two of
November 99, I think, something like that.
yeah.
I think
So it did it
so.
a good 6 months before Buffy did it.
Mm,
And I think they do it really well. You know, they're like
yeah.
really snippy with each other. And I think the genius of it is that Phoebe isn't involved in the spell.
Yes.
So it's a similar play to in season 1 in Dream Sorcerer when Phoebe and Piper cast a love spell and they end up having these sort of like love dramas that Prue isn't a part of. The
Mm,
cat is.
yeah.
They didn't do that in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they didn't do. They could read the cat's thoughts.
That would have been so cool. Like,
Yeah, that maybe was one step too far.
they were like, we've paid enough for the CGI cat on the first bit.
Yeah.
We can't put the cat in again.
Yeah, do you think that they just didn't have they didn't, they couldn't be bothered to bring the cat in for like that one moment
It
by the door?
was just so random.
It was so
It's like,
bizarre.
why couldn't they?
Yeah.
Unless it was a scene where they just thought randomly, like,
Mm,
how can we get suspicion on Dan being a warlock
yeah.
or the cat hissing? So maybe it was just a last minute decision, so the cat
Maybe.
wasn't available.
Yeah, the
Perhaps he
cat
was on
was.
another job.
They're in demand, these Hollywood cats.
He was like, I've heard of them warlocks going around with their carrot fingers. Not into
Yeah. I don't. I'm
that.
not going to associate with that. No, no, thank you. But yeah, I think yeah, the genius was that it was Piper and Prue doing a spell together, and Phoebe's not part of it. So for the first half of the episode, she has no idea that they can read
Mm,
her thoughts and each other's thoughts, which is great because it just adds to the hijinks.
yeah, it's so good. And I love that, as you say, it's this time it's Piper and Prue doing it.
Yeah,
Whereas obviously we're used to Phoebe and the hijinks, aren't we? But she had actually had quite like a serious kind of role in this
yeah,
one, which was
yeah.
good. And I
And I,
did. Oh, go
sorry,
on,
you
you
go.
go.
No, you go. I've been talking loads.
No. I was going to say I did find it funny when obviously, they're frightened, Piper and Prue, by these events, and obviously go through the trouble of casting the spell, and then Phoebe just comes in and points out that, oh, all you've got to do is just like, any sign of blood that'll prove they're human. So like she doesn't know
Yeah,
they've cast the spell. She she's got this knowledge,
about
like that
warlocks.
you've just gotta do this, and it's like Phoebe kind of saves the day. They didn't even consult Phoebe in the first place
Yeah, which
before
is
they cast
crazy
this spell.
because she's the one who's had probably the most experience of any of them. Because in
Mm,
season one, especially, she really is with all the innocents. She's like witch number one, basically.
yeah.
Whereas the other two have a lot of life dramas and stuff going on. So
Mm,
you would think that they would call Phoebe because she's kind of like the super witch.
yeah. They just kept her out of it, didn't
They
they?
did.
And then when she come in and said that, I was like, I did actually was like, ha! You should have
Yeah,
consulted Phoebe.
knowledge is power. I did, but this is brand new information, isn't it? We've never heard this if you prick a wall up, they don't bleed thing before, I swear.
I thought that because I did have a look. So obviously, yes, so Phoebe obviously says warlocks don't bleed,
Yeah,
but in the first episode, so something wicker this way comes, Jeremy, remember Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Yeah, he was bleeding quite badly after a
He really
failed
was.
vanquish, right? So
Because he has those thorns sticking out of his
yeah,
body.
and he was definitely bleeding. So
He
I'm like,
was.
hmm. And then obviously in that episode that we wasn't too keen on the when bad warlocks turn good.
Yeah.
So the Rowe brothers, the one brother bleeds when he's stabbed.
Yeah.
So I'm
So,
like, hmm.
yeah, it was very confusing.
And I'm sure the one we watched recently, The Painted World, Malcolm, I'm sure bleeds
Mm,
off the top of my head. But
yeah.
so I was a bit like, oh, so
Yeah.
are we just meant to
Where's that
forget
come
all
from?
of this? Like,
Yeah.
are these like plot holes, or do you think like they actually just
It
thought when
feels,
people are never going to remember?
yeah. It feels like a massive plot hole to me.
Yeah,
And it's such a
random.
big deal in this episode. Like they go, so Prue and Piper go around, they prick Dan's finger or hand, and then they also do the same thing to Jack. So it's like a
Mm,
massive, massive part of this episode.
yeah.
Maybe they just decided to retcon the stuff that happened before
Mm,
in terms of blood and warlocks and decided that going forward, now they don't bleed. But I
mm,
swear in the future they bleed. I swear they do.
mm.
So I have to
But
keep an eye
then
on it.
also they do mention, which I think is new information as well, that when Piper freezes someone, their blood
Mm,
freezes at the same time. And I've never quite thought of it like that. I just thought the human form froze, not like every organ in their body
yeah.
and their blood freezes. That makes it like really sinister.
Really sinister. Yeah, I know. It is, yeah, that makes it suddenly really biological or
Yeah.
physiological. Yeah, which is a bit creepy actually when you think about it.
Mm, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I did notice, I did wonder what you thought about the whole bleeding thing
The
because I was
the little
like,
prick thing.
they're bleeding little liars. You're telling me a little prick can solve all the
Yeah,
problems?
oh, I know. And this episode is written by is it Cheryl J. Anderson? And she's been with the show since the beginning, so you'd think that she would remember that.
Yeah, yeah. They must have
Yeah.
just decided it for maybe future episodes that they needed to just rip it off like a
Mm,
band-aid and get it out the way.
start fresh.
Yeah. But obviously, as you mentioned, Piper pricks Dan. God, that's a bit of a tongue twister. And obviously he bleeds. But we never suspected Dan to be a warlock, right? I
No,
mean,
of
I
course
didn't.
not.
I can't say that I did.
I feel like it would be so, so cruel if they had made Dan a warlock. Because
Yeah.
Piper she's already so unlucky in love
Yeah.
that it
Would have
would
been
be,
really mean.
yeah, and also it would just sort of like, it would ruin a lot of story potential, I think, because it's genuinely interesting to see her dating a mortal and being really happy.
Hmm.
Um, but I do really feel like the spectre of Andy is kind of hanging over their relationship because
Yeah.
she kind of has to tell him eventually,
Hmm.
and he's not the same as Andy. You know, they have that lovely moment at the start of this season where um, Piper and Phoebe are consoling Prue and saying, well, Andy was protecting the innocent as well. So they had a
Hmm.
common ground, whereas Dan's just like a regular guy. What does he even do? Is he in construction?
Something like that, wasn't it? Didn't he work for
Yeah,
the mayor's office or something like
yeah.
that in construction?
Yeah, so
Mm-mm.
I feel like it's slightly setting Piper up for a fall, which is kind of
Yeah.
sad. But for the
Mm.
time being, it's lovely that he's just a regular guy, not a warlock.
Yeah.
He's just nice man Dan.
Yeah. And I have to do a shout out to Holly Marie Coombs' acting, because that glint in her eye every time Dan is there, like, it's just perfection. She makes me fully believe that she's totally in love with this guy. Like, I'm
Yeah,
fully there with her and I want it to work out for her. She does a
I feel
lot of
like
good eye acting. Does that make
she
sense?
does.
Like, even the
She lives
crying,
it.
everything. Her facial expression is just, and she sells me every time in every scene that she's in. She's just
Yeah.
amazing. Love her.
I feel like she could have chemistry with, a mop.
Yeah,
She's just amazing.
yeah.
Did you see her talking on the House of Halliwell podcast about, I think they were talking about one of the season 4 episodes where she was saying how in acting, a lot of it is actually trying to suppress the emotion that you're trying to convey, and how
Oh,
um, she's always trying to just think about how you would try to cover up what you're feeling rather than just laying it bare really
oh,
obviously,
wow.
which I
Yeah,
think is, you can kind of see that in her
yeah, you
performance.
can.
She never
Yeah,
does anything really obvious. She's always dancing around her emotions, which it
yeah.
makes it feel so authentic, I think.
Oh, she's just phenomenal. Phenomenal
Amazing.
actress. Brilliant.
Yeah,
I'll just have a look at some comments. So,
cool.
Sharon says about Piper's hour. How long was that hour?
Yeah.
So true.
Doesn't she keep pushing it back by an hour over the course of
Yeah.
the day? Yeah.
um, Matthew said, I like Dan better now that his obnoxious niece is gone. She just
Yeah.
get a mention. Just
She
get a
does.
mention.
Yeah.
Shan said, can we talk about the fact that they think it's fine to make every man in their life bleed?
Yeah.
Bleed for me.
Yeah. Prove you love me by bleeding.
Claire said, I mean, she did date a warlock and fell for a ghost, so it is understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm there with
yeah.
her.
Kirsty said, and they left Phoebe out again, like we were saying.
Mm.
Kirsty said maybe someone was allergic to the cat, so they had to CGI it in.
Maybe. Yeah,
Possible.
maybe Dan's allergic.
Kirsty also says they still underestimate the younger sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless her. Sharon
Mm.
says Phoebe was always my favourite. Kirsty said maybe a warlock wrote it in the book to trick them. Oh,
How about
about
the
the
blood?
blood.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Possibly.
Matthew said if Dan had been a warlock, he would have taken care of that obnoxious niece right off the bat.
Yeah.
You don't like that obnoxious niece, do you, Matthew?
Yeah. Such a fan.
Sharon said, what happened to the niece? I feel like I've missed that. So obviously, well, we just know that she wasn't around in this episode, but I think at some point, right, she's like
They do.
shipped
They
back
do
home
talk
or
about.
something.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that. So, Prue and
Yes.
her love life.
Oh,
So
yeah.
obviously we've got Jack Sheridan, who she met in the previous episode. Now, Prue thinks he's a warlock, and I love the fact that she says to Piper that Piper should know because Piper's a warlock magnet.
Yes. I've got that whole quote for Charming Dialect,
Oh,
so
can't wait
yeah.
once we get to that. But then I do love how Piper did throw it back and mentions Rex and Hannah and basically said
Yes.
that, Prue worked with them or whatever. She said, so Prue must be a magnet as well. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, my sexy Rexy, I miss him.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously after casting the spell, she goes to the auction house and sees Jack.
Mm.
So at this point, he's wearing like the most stupidest outfit ever. Like it
It's like
just
a
didn't.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm all for an Hawaiian shirt, but it just
In an
I was
auction
just like,
house.
oh.
Yeah.
So obviously she reads Jack's mind, and there's some very weird and concerning things
Yeah.
about dead people that this guy is thinking, and it
Well,
convinces Prue even more.
he says mostly I put people in graves or incinerate them. And then he thinks if she finds out I'm lying, she's gonna die, which is very dramatic.
I was like, oh, maybe he is a warlock.
Yeah.
But no. Apparently, Jack has a twin called Jeff. My name's Jeff. And Jack has a habit of sending Jeff, the other twin, obviously to check out the merchandise. And Jeff owns a whole chain of mortuaries, hence the dead body thing.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of really bizarre because you get this moment where, you know, Prue's talking to Jack, and then obviously the twin walks in, which is the first time we're seeing that he's got a twin, and apparently the only episode that this twin appears in.
Yeah.
Apparently. And rightly so, you know, once, you know, Prue figures out that Jack's not a warlock, rightly so, she slaps them both for being so awful and not disclosing this information. So, what do you think of
Shannon
this?
Doherty gives him a hell of a whack.
The twin more so as well.
Yeah,
like,
that's
she slaps.
You're not going to get slapped.
Yeah. Like, oh. So, what did you think of this weird twin storyline? Like, was it to me? It was just really random.
I could really have done without it. It was very bizarre. Like, I guess it kind of worked in a funny way as part of Prue's suspicion of Jack and if he's a warlock or not. But as a sort of like, he's coming to check, his twin is going into Butlers to check Prue out to see if he's like a suitable girlfriend, potential girlfriend for Jack. I'm sorry, that is just really gross.
It's just so
What's
weird.
his brother got to do with it? It's absolutely nothing to do with him.
Yeah. And then, like, even later down the line, I don't know whether it's the next episode, I'm thinking, when Prue goes into the office and then Jack is actually in a shirt, like a proper shirt, but then shorts. Like, I'd be constantly thinking that that's Jeff. Like, it was blowing my brain. I was like, is this Jeff or is it Jack? Like, how's she going to know? I
know. If they're that identical.
Yeah, and she doesn't seem to distrust that in the next episode, whereas I'd be like, she
should have slapped him so hard that he had a scar.
Yeah.
And that's how she'd be able to tell which twin it was. And he would deserve it.
It was just so random.
Yeah.
But do you think that Jack is a good guy for Prue? Like, if you think of Andy, he's no Andy, is he really?
No.
And we up and down with Andy.
Yeah, Andy could be a bit of a wet blanket. I think Jack at least has a bit of banter. He's obviously quite, I mean, is he intelligent? He seems like he thinks he's intelligent at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's a very odd pairing for Prue. I guess they kind of wanted to do the complete opposite to Andy and just gave her this like frat boy thing. He looked like he stepped out of American Pie.
Yeah.
It's very, very strange. But I guess it's like chalk and cheese. Maybe that would work out for her. But then we learned that she wants a guy who like treats her to, what was that episode where?
Yeah, basically she wants
to be looked after.
Yeah.
Romance and stuff.
But I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I love him as an actor, don't get me wrong, but he's just a bit annoying.
He's quite annoying.
Who sends his twin brother Jeff to check out the merchandise?
Yeah. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah. But at least she does manage to find out that Jack bleeds, so that means he isn't a warlock. So
yeah, I did love that whole thing where when Piper pricks Dan when he's frozen, she freaks out that he doesn't bleed. And Phoebe kind of goes, well, of course he's not bleeding, he's frozen. And Piper's like, oh, got it. And then when she goes to Prue, and Prue pricks Jack and he doesn't bleed, and Prue freaks out, Piper's like, yeah, because he's frozen. Such funny sister banter.
Yeah, passing that knowledge on.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously in the end they find out, Jack and Dan aren't demons, and Jack is
No.
just hiding this twin brother that never
Hmm.
gets mentioned again,
No,
apparently.
no, never again.
Because I actually looked it up. I was like, do we see this twin a lot?
Yeah.
And it was just like, no, this is the only episode it's ever brought
Um,
up. Like,
yeah.
why bring that up and then not use it again? But anyway. So obviously we've got Phoebe as well. So Phoebe, as I mentioned, is working at the hospital. So she's volunteering there. And she gets thanked for making the room cheerful for
Hmm.
the guy in the coma, for Eric's
Yeah.
dad. And there's kind of this flirty vibe between her and Eric. And then obviously Phoebe gets this premonition about Eric and sets out to protect him.
Yeah.
And Phoebe always seems to attract the innocents that need protecting, right?
Yeah.
She always does.
She's like right place, right time kind of thing.
Mm,
But I think
yeah.
the show kind of explains that a little bit in that, they say that witches and warlocks and stuff are going to be drawn towards them because they're the charmed ones. So
Yeah.
it's almost just like they have a gravitational pull that just really does bring these people into their lives. And Eric is
Oh.
just like the latest one, isn't he? But
Yeah.
they don't say that in this episode. It's in season 1, I think.
Mm.
It might even be in the pilot episode
Oh,
when
okay.
Phoebe's
Yeah.
like, they call us the charmed ones, and we're gonna, we're a magnet for demons and stuff. And
Mm.
so they kind of do explain how that
Yeah.
happens.
But I kind of like it because Eric does seem to be quite into her too.
Yeah.
Um, as
I mean,
well.
she looked
Like,
amazing in those hot pink scrubs.
she looked amazing. And with that
Yeah.
tan as well.
Oh, and the eyeliner.
Oh, just like
Yeah.
my eyeliner.
Yeah. I need to get some guy liner on.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, so obviously we get the ending where obviously Phoebe's had her memory erased
Mm.
by the collectors and she's lost this 3 weeks like we mentioned, and we get this ending where it's like they still seem to want to be hooking up together regardless, so it's kind of a bit
Yeah.
like fate, I guess, in a kind of way. So
Yeah.
what do you think happened after she showed him where the sunroom was? Do you think they dated, or because we're never going to know?
I know. I feel like they probably ended up like having a snog in like a broom closet at the hospital, and then they
Yeah.
realized that actually they didn't fancy each other at all, and the kiss was really bad,
And it was
and
like,
that was it. Let's
yeah.
just leave. Let's leave it as a possibility rather than
Yeah.
reality.
And
That was a nice
obviously,
moment though at the end when they still have that little spark.
yeah, I kind of liked it. I thought it was like a nice little touch, considering she'd lost 3 weeks of her life. I thought it was
Yeah,
a nice little touch, definitely.
consolation.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
worst thing is, what happens if she was only volunteering at the hospital for 3 weeks, and then
Mm.
like she just rocks up for another shift, and they're like, we're just not going to tell her that she shouldn't be here. She's
Yeah,
done her
just
three
3 more
weeks.
weeks.
They're just going to do 3 more.
She just works here now.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
pay
it.
her, but she like it.
And obviously, as you mentioned earlier, Phoebe and her awesome karate moves.
Yeah.
She's
Which
been putting all that practice.
it seems to now be like an accepted thing among the sisters that, like, Piper says, Phoebe, you do your thing. And Phoebe's thing is martial arts, kicking demons' ass. Which is
Yeah,
great. I love it.
I love it. And she must
Yeah.
have done that because that wasn't like a stunt person or anything. She must have actually done that in real life because
Yeah.
it looked like proper genuine.
It
She was
looked
like,
like her for
"Hiya!"
sure. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. She was awesome.
I loved it. Oh, just jealous I
Yeah.
am. So, have you got anything else for Love is Pain, Work It, or Sister Bond?
The only thing that I have, like, it's just like more stuff about Dan, how sweet Dan is. Like when Piper is sort of saying to Dan, "Oh, something's come up, we need to just delay it or something," and she hears him thinking, and he's sort of like, "Uh-oh, cold feet, she's backing out." But then he thinks, "Don't force it," and he's really sweet about it, and he's like
Mm.
really trying not to pressure her. He's just like, even his thoughts are really lovely and pure and considerate.
Oh, yeah,
So
they
he's just
are.
the best of us.
Oh, it's just, oh.
And then, of course, you have Phoebe thinking that Dan has a nice butt.
Oh yes.
I was like, stop thinking about his butt.
And the way then like Piper's walking, like trying to cover his bum
Yeah. Yeah.
as he's walking to the door. Oh
Yeah.
bless.
Did
Oh,
you notice,
and
though, that when Piper slams the front door on Dan, it comes really close to his thumb? Like, it looked like she was gonna, like, cut his thumb off by popping it in the door.
she was checking
No
if he was
driving for him.
bleeding, Josh.
That's true. Smart. Smart,
Very
Piper, yeah.
smart.
I don't think I've got anything else for any of those. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So we'll move on to mythology then. So
Mm.
for the mythology, obviously it gets brought up that the dagger or whatever it was
The
from the
Athame.
episode when that's it. I didn't want to butcher the name, Josh, so thank you. You've got my back.
Yeah.
So the dagger obviously at the end of When Bad Warlocks Turn Good, so the episode with the priest, which
Yeah.
just seems so random that episode kept getting brought up,
I
because
know.
we didn't really rate that episode
No,
too
we
well, did
didn't.
we? But anyway, so Prue kept the dagger, which I
Mm.
have a little bit of a question in itself, because I'm sure the dagger disappeared when
Mm.
the priest when the brothers got killed, but I might be wrong. I'd
Yeah.
have to go back and have a look.
I
But
don't think you need to go watch that episode again to check. Just accept it as facts.
just accept it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just accept it.
So did you like that they did a nod back to that episode, or a nod back to previous episodes and items that
I
they
do
might
love
have
that.
kept?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I do love a bit of continuity. It was interesting that they only really brought it up in order to have Prue have an athame, this dagger, which kind of made me realize that athames weren't really a thing on Charmed for the first couple of years. They kind of become like kind of a key feature as the show progresses. So it was interesting that they had
Ah.
to, well, they kind of felt that they had to come up with an explanation for why
Mm.
Prue has this athame. Um,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Like I liked it. I thought it was cool, and I do like that had that sort of like leftover artifact from another story has been brought
Mm.
into another story and like a whole season later. Like
Yeah.
that to me is always fun.
Yeah. Because I do like it when TV shows do that, where they use their previous source material to
Yeah.
bring something into another episode. So
Mm.
I'm a bit of a fan of that as well. I like
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
just was
Even though that episode wasn't a very good one.
That's what I was just gonna say, even though
Yeah. It didn't
like I
really
just
matter.
wish it wasn't that episode, but
Yeah.
still pretty cool.
Yeah.
So did you pick up anything else in mythology? Because I was like, oh yeah, the dagger, but then everything else are kind of covered with the love stuff.
Yeah. We do glimpse the groupie eating demon Maslin in the book when Piper's flipping through the Book of Shadows at one point.
Oh,
We see that cool
yeah.
illustration of him in his black cloak.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Is
So
that like that really cool like overhead shot when they're like looking at the
yeah,
book? That was such a cool shot as well, how they filmed that.
that
That was
whole
really
scene
good.
when they're casting their spells is so cool
Yeah.
because it's like it's a daytime sequence, but then suddenly when they're casting the spell, the lights dim and they're just lit up by the candles, and the
Yeah.
camera's like slowly rotating around Piper and Prue, and there's like a bit of a ghostly wind. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And just the way they shot it as well. I noticed that.
Yeah,
Like a couple of overhead shots, and there's just like with the
yeah.
camera spinning as well. It was really cool.
It was very practical magic. It
Yes.
felt very much like a nod to that, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But no, I don't think there's anything else
No.
mythology-wise that came up. Yeah.
I'll just have a look at some
Yeah.
comments. So Speed Rated said Jack has some great one-liners. Yeah, I'll
Hmm.
give him that. I'll give him that. Matthew said I love the Joan Crawford double slap, double
Yeah.
face slap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew also said my ex's name is Jeff, so I was happy to see Jeff get the harder hit. Oh dear. Kirst,
I really love the thought that isn't he in real life called Lachlan?
Lachlan
Monroe?
Monroe? Yeah.
Yeah. I love the
Yeah.
thought of him saying to Shannon Doherty, like, just really give it to me.
Just go for it,
Because
yeah.
she
Because
really does, and I love it. I
I
love her
could
for that.
imagine him saying that from when I've seen him
Yeah.
do interviews for other roles that he's done. Um, like especially like when he was in Riverdale and stuff. I could imagine him saying that. Just go for it, Shannon. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Do it. Do your worst.
Yeah. Kirsty said he's a good getting over Andy guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's true. Sharon said absolutely Kirsty's a classic rebound, yeah. Oh yeah, and Alyssa Milano, Matthew said learnt martial arts for the role. I think we have had mentioned
Mm,
that before actually.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I
love it.
love that. So sign of the times for this one. Did you pick up any sign of the times?
The hospital location that they use with the arched windows with the orange glass in it.
Oh yeah.
That was in a lot of WB shows. It was in definitely in Angel. I'm not sure if it was in
Ah.
Buffy, and then it does show up again in Charmed in the season 3 episode Primrose Empath.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
it's quite a cool location. Oh, have we gone offline again?
Oh, God. I
Oh
don't know what's
no.
going on with this.
Yeah, you've
Two,
cut off again.
2 seconds. I know how to fix it this time.
Oh,
This
cool.
connection.
Hopefully it'll let you rejoin
Mm,
the same one.
sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on
Mm,
tonight. Da, da, da.
it's just the internet. It always happens, doesn't it?
The thing is, I'm on the internet on here, so I'm
Yeah,
not entirely sure. It just says
yeah,
connecting. Give me 2 seconds.
right.
There must be something, is because it keeps coming up with alert,
Yeah.
and then it's just connecting. Oh.
Hmm.
2 secs, guys. Let's do a dance. Singing a
Do do do
song.
do 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 do
Oh dear.
do do
Right, it's
do.
connecting. One sec. I don't know why, because I'm on the internet on here.
Yeah, and your
So
picture is
why?
perfectly clear on here.
Yeah, and so why it keeps coming off? And we've never had this problem
I
before.
know. I've done
So
3 whole chats and it's been fine.
yes,
So I don't know why it's doing
and
it
it's
tonight.
typical that it's mine, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Right, I think. Oh, it says connecting. Oh, sorry, guys. Um,
Choo choo.
the curses of double recording. Did you say
Yeah.
choo choo? Choo
Yeah.
choo! Oh dear.
Get on the podcast train.
Choo choo! I wonder if I just click enter. Oh, change. Oh no, I better not. Because it says it won't save it, so I don't want to mess anything up.
Oh.
Oh. Choo choo. I'm just sitting here going, choo choo! Beep beep! Oh dear. I don't know how to make myself back online, Josh.
Oh, weird.
Uh, and I
Um,
don't want to press anything in case it doesn't save what we've just done.
okay, I'm going to stop it again and hopefully it
Oh,
will save it.
sorry, guys. I'll read some comments out just quick.
All
Oh yeah, Stargazer said the flip phones were a sign of the times.
right.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Critical error. Oh, no. Oh dear.
Mm.
It says I'm connected to the internet again, so
Mm.
I'm not entirely sure what keeps
Okay, it says
happening.
your health check pass. It says you're offline.
Oh dear.
How
I can
bizarre.
like go out and go back in, but I'm worried
Yeah,
it's going to lose your recording. Shall I try it?
yeah.
Okay. 1 second. Oh no. Da, 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 da. Why is it not working?
It's fun for the folks at home. I really hate technology. It's so frustrating. It really gets on my nerves. Contracts uploaded.
It's like nothing's
Oh
loading.
wait, no, don't.
We're just like silent, trying to sort out a
Yeah.
technical issue
Yeah.
out. Oh,
We've
tell
had a
us some funny
glitch.
jokes in the comments,
Yeah.
guys. If it doesn't work this time, I'll have to go and get care.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't fix it.
Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh dear. Good old live chats, eh?
Yeah.
Kirsty said, at least your Microsoft on your spaceship isn't broken. Oh dear. Right, Josh, you're going to have to entertain because I'm going to have to go
Oh
and get
no.
Kev.
My worst
Because I
nightmare.
can't stop.
All right, I'm going to read
Because
out.
I'll tell you what, read those reviews out
Yeah, I'm
for
going to read out the
this
reviews.
episode. I'll be back
Okay.
somehow.
Okay. So every month I read out the reviews from an old magazine that I used to read called Expose magazine. I used to collect it religiously. And there was a guy who used to review the show in the magazine. So for They're Everywhere, this guy, the reviewer, gave it 5 stars. It's a bit generous, I think. 5 out of 5. And he says, with both Prue convinced that her slimy colleague at the auction house is a warlock, and Piper worried the Diet Coke neighbor is the same, they resort to a spell that enables thoughts to be heard. This coincides with Phoebe helping a young man who has discovered the location of a source of ultimate knowledge and is being hunted by 2 information-sucking warlocks. What follows is a busy, charmed episode which juggles humour and difficult decisions to be made without belittling either. I feel like I'm telling a bedtime story. The interplay between the 3 sisters, 2 telepathic, the other increasingly paranoid, is the best ever, and the warlocks for once prove to be worthy adversaries. There is even some sharp dialogue, right, calm down, which has to be a first. Oh my god. Prue's "We'll see if that prick bleeds," though, is of course completely innocent. It's borrowing so heavily from Buffy's Earshot. Oh, so it must have been after Earshot. I swear it was before. I'm going to check that. I don't think that's right. It's borrowing so heavily from Buffy's Earshot that some kind of overdue fine should be considered. But given the fluffy nature of Charm, the telepathic plot device actually works better here in that there's no need for the heavy consequences of mind reading. It makes for a fun hour and some marvelous scenes. Piper realizing that Phoebe is ogling her latest boyfriend is a lovely moment, while the final confrontation with cunning warlocks actually shows the girls thinking for a change. Charming as ever, charming as ever. I swear Earshot was was after this. I'm going to look it up. Buffy Earshot. When was it first broadcast? 21st of September 1999. Oh, it just beat Charm. So Earshot was September 99 and They're Everywhere was November 99. But I really feel like you can't say that Charmed copied Buffy because when they were planning the episodes, they would have planned like the first half of season 2 episodes of Charmed like during the summer. So Buffy wouldn't have even aired that episode yet. So I feel like that's kind of a bit cheeky. Yeah, Kirsty says likely filmed at the same time. Yeah, exactly. And you kind of feel like the WB, like the shows had to submit their story ideas to the network. So I feel like the WB would have noted the fact that they had 2 episodes that had mind reading in. But maybe they just thought they were both so good that they just decided to keep both because Earshot obviously was amazing. Oh, Shelley, you're back.
I'm back!
Hooray!
Oh, so sorry.
That's all right, don't worry.
Kev's done some jiggery pokery and I am back
Okay.
online. But
Okay. I'm going to hit record then.
okay.
And
It does
hopefully it'll
say like
work.
error,
Yeah.
unfinalised track on there, so I do apologise if
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
still.
if worst comes to worst, we have our Instagram audio. So
Yeah,
even though it's not like best quality, it'll
yeah.
exist. So we won't lose anything.
No, definitely. Does
Awesome.
that does that look like it's recording to you now?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
recording.
Okie dokie. Right.
I think it is
Oh,
anyway. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wait, no, it isn't. Well done. Why isn't it?
Do
It's record.
you know what? I think it's because it says unfinalised track. Hang on.
Oh, it says that it's recording you, but it's not recording me.
Uh,
um,
hang on. Retry upload. Now it says you're online. Oh
I
well.
have.
I don't know
I've
what's
gone
going
off.
on. I've just
Okay.
pressed re-upload in the
Okay.
previous one, so maybe that might kick it in. Maybe.
Cool.
If not, I can just come out and go back in again. Fun,
Okay.
fun.
I'm gonna do new recording.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in recording 3,
Okay.
and you're in. Let me check that my
You
mic's
just get
right.
everyone's just getting a behind the scenes look on.
Yeah.
Like if you saw my setup, honestly, it's like something out of like an alien spaceship.
Right. We're
Right,
recording.
we're good.
We're going.
So how many? Just out of interest, how many stars did you give this one? That
5.
whoa!
I know. He loved it. He said it was like really funny
Oh,
and actually better than Buffy's thought
oh,
hearing. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
okay, okay,
Well, to each their own.
okay.
Yeah.
So we was talking about Sign of the Times, weren't we? So,
Yeah.
um, did you have any Sign of the Times? I can't remember. You was in the middle of saying something, I
So I
think.
love
And
Prue can't figure out how to use her new flip phone, which is hilarious because it's like
oh,
it's obviously
yeah, and
brand new
Phoebe has to show
technology.
her how to
Yeah,
use it. Oh, so funny.
yeah. I
I
love
love that one.
that whole moment. That's maybe another Sister Bond moment. But I love that whole moment when at the end of the episode, Prue and Phoebe are squashed onto the chair in the living room together, and
Yeah.
Prue's talking to Jack on the phone, and he's like trying to come up with ways to make it up to her that he's been lying about having a twin. And Prue keeps checking with Phoebe to see if she should accept
And she's like,
what he's offering, and she's
no,
like, "I don't think so.
no.
I don't think so." And then they
I
hang
love
up on
that.
him.
So
It's
cool.
like it's so cute. Yeah,
I got the braids and the kind of feather look that Phoebe had
yeah,
in her hair. That was so 1999. That whole
yeah.
look, like a little dangly feather or a dangly braid coming
Yeah,
down
and
your hair.
she has quite a few different chokers that she wears in the episode as well,
Yeah,
and like thick
yeah,
eyeliner.
yeah. I've never come out of the
Yeah,
'90s as you can see. So,
yeah. I do want to mention the fashion because the fashion has become such a huge thing in season 2. And I think
mm,
last week, maybe or the week before, we talked about how the show got a new costume designer in the form of Eilish, who
yeah.
she she actually won. She was Emmy nominated twice for Murder She Wrote before she did Charmed,
Oh
and she
wow,
worked on Dynasty. She worked on The Love Boat.
wow.
Currently, in present day, she is part of the Marvel films costume department. So she's still working
Oh,
on some really cool stuff.
that's brilliant.
But it's really noticeable in this episode and the next episode, I think,
Mm,
like just how different their fashion is compared to season
yeah,
1.
yeah,
Like in this one, Piper's got that amazing purple shirt and like a mauve jacket on top,
yeah.
and all
Looks
the
so
stuff that you
cool.
said that Phoebe was wearing.
Yeah, and then also as well, Prue is like in a this awesome green like midriff type of top,
Yeah,
and her boobs looked amazing in it. I have to
yeah.
say, like she
Oh, it was
looked
like a kind of
phenomenal.
like a ribbed kind of
Yeah,
thing,
it
which was
looked
very cool.
amazing. She looked, oh yeah, looked so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
I have a quote from Eilish. She was interviewed quite recently by a French Substacker,
Yeah.
And she said that of the four of the girls, obviously she worked with these girls and then also Rose McGowan.
Oh, yeah.
And she said that of the four, Holly Marie Combs was the most conservative, while Alyssa Milano was adventurous. She would wear anything, which I think that we kind of definitely see that as the years go on.
Yeah.
She says that Alyssa wore crop tops that Holly would never have dared to wear, and she wears two of them in this episode.
Yeah.
And she says of three, Shannon Doherty was the most fashion conscious. It was a subject she was truly passionate about. So I
Oh,
wonder if Shannon
yeah.
Doherty was instrumental in getting Eilish on board because
Yeah.
it's such a difference, and you can really see,
Mm,
particularly I think with Prue, her wardrobe is
yeah.
so completely different this
So
season.
different. If you think of
Yeah,
that montage from series one where she's putting all those like kind of longish, pencil
yeah.
skirts on and, the jackets and things to what she's wearing now, completely
No,
different. And
no
and
real
loads of nice
colors.
colour. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. In season
Colour as
two, she's
well.
wearing so much color, and in season one, I sort of think about her wearing like little black
Yeah.
mini jackets and like little black skirts, and
Mm,
yeah, like
yeah.
kind of very very muted colors.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, there was
um,
another location that was a sign of the times,
oh, okay.
and it's the museum that they go to with the Akashic Records.
Yeah.
That was used in the Spider-Man film a few years later, the 2002 Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. I do
yeah.
love like hearing about how other locations are used and
Mm,
in like films and stuff, and I just find it fascinating. Then like once you know as well, you spot it quite often,
yeah,
don't you? Yeah, I
totally.
love that. Kirsty said I saw a thread yesterday about someone completing someone on a choke, oh, complimenting someone, sorry, on a choker, and they say thanks. It's vintage from my grandma in the
Oh
90s.
my God.
Ouch.
Please no.
That hurt.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh
That would be,
dear.
yeah, if her grandma was 30 in the 90s, then yeah, I guess she would have like a teenage
Yeah.
granddaughter.
But
Whoa!
even just saying it's vintage from the 90s
Yeah.
is bad enough.
I've noticed one of my favorite YouTubers is Adrienne, who does yoga with Adrienne. And
Oh,
she's been
okay.
going for so long now that she calls her original videos vintage because it's like 15, 20 years ago that her first
Oh
videos were done.
wow.
So
Oh,
crazy. Yeah.
crazy. Matthew said, I haven't noticed the others, but Alyssa Milano's ab game was on point.
Yeah.
She had a six pack. Yeah, and Trina
Yeah.
said, I love the clothes in the show. Oh, me too. Me too.
Hmm.
So charming dialogue on this one. What have you got?
I've got the exchange where Prue says to Piper, "You have to know if there's a warlock test." And Piper says, "How would I know?" And Prue says, "I mean, well, you are a warlock magnet." And Piper says, "Am I never going to live Jeremy down? You know, you had that Rex and Hannah thing at work." And Prue says, "Okay, fine. You get them in your love life. I've got them at the water cooler."
I love that.
So good.
So, so
I
good.
love that Jeremy gets brought up again. Like I think in
Never
the season
forgotten.
opener, Jeremy obviously comes back for that bit, and then I think I said that he's never mentioned again, but clearly he
Yeah.
just won't go away. He's always going to be there as a
Yeah, always
yeah.
there. Yeah. I mean, as we said, in our episode about him, he has the honour of being the first warlock, and
He
that is
does.
never forgotten. Never.
Yeah, exactly. Have you got any charming dialogue?
So I've got when Piper said, "There's got to be another way with all the hocus pocus that we have."
Yeah.
I love that line. Oh, it's so good.
Sweet.
I've got the one where Piper and Prue are vanishing the collectors by making them drain each other's brains, and Piper
Mhm.
goes, "They really shouldn't have tried to give us the finger."
Yes.
Oh,
Brilliant.
classic. Um, have you got any others?
I've got loads for this one. I've got Prue saying to Piper, "Okay, you unfreeze them. If that prick doesn't bleed, then that one's dead too." I've got Prue
Oh,
and Piper being annoyed at Eric. Eric goes running off to do something, And Prue says, "Do we have to protect him?" And Piper says, "He is pissing me off."
Oh, I love that one.
And then we have Dan's inner thoughts. Dan thinking, "Someday, some way, somehow, I'm going to make it through that damn door."
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
I love the one as well where I think Phoebe says it about Piper freezing Dan as he's leaving in the car, and she goes,
Mm.
"Such a nifty little power."
Yeah, and that's an interesting moment for Phoebe because she's always
Yeah,
been so jealous of her sister's powers. But
yeah,
in that,
yeah.
there's no sense of judgment or jealousy or anything there. She's
No.
just really happy for Piper.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, look at her go.
Yeah.
Oh
I've also
dear.
got Eric saying to Phoebe, "Are you sure you're not an angel?" And she says, "No, I'm no angel. I could probably introduce you to one though."
Oh,
Yeah.
so sweet, so
And
sweet.
there is where's the bit that Dan says something about Jenny? Oh no, sorry, I think that's in the next episode.
Oh.
Ignore me. Ignore me.
So, who was your sister of this episode? I know we've been talking about this episode for a long time with all the
Oh, yeah.
technical issues. I
Technical
do apologise.
problems. Yeah.
So, who was your sister of the episode for this one?
Oh,
It's
I didn't write anything
hard.
down because I
I
couldn't
didn't.
think.
I didn't write anything
Yeah, I
either.
was hoping that it would just come to me as we chatted, but
Yeah, I
oh, I
think
don't
it's a hard one on
know.
this one. I think they all were equal.
They were. Maybe
Yeah.
Phoebe slightly gets the edge because she just looks really cool. She kicks
Mm,
ass. She doesn't get to be part of the thought spell, so I feel a bit
yeah.
sorry for her because she kind of misses out on all that fun.
Yeah.
So maybe it is Phoebe for this one, even though I know we always say it's easy to pick the sister who's got the main plot as the sister of the
Mm,
episode. But I do think that maybe she does have the edge in this one.
mm.
Although
Yeah.
Prue is so funny in this one. That moment when
Yeah.
she hears a bird, a peacock in the forest, and
Oh,
she gets
yeah.
scared and she's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and like puts her fists
Puts her
up.
fist up, doesn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so true. Oh, it is a
yeah,
hard one. And then obviously, Piper going through, all what she's having to go through before she can even like go on this weekend away with Dan. Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
hard to pick in this one, I
It's
will be
so tough.
honest. Yeah, so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many brooms out of 5 did you rate it?
I'm going to give it a, a low 4 brooms out of
I
5.
put 4 brooms as
Oh,
well.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I think
Mm.
there's so much really great stuff in it, but I just feel like it's one that starts to fall apart slightly when you think about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like there's so much that the thought stuff is really funny. The like paranoia about the men in their lives being warlocks is really well done.
Mm.
The warlocks, obviously, we talked about, they have some great banter, and the
Yeah.
blinking power is done really
Yeah.
effectively. And
Yeah.
also, I like the fact that there's like a little throwaway moment where Phoebe thinks, so Piper and Prue say to Phoebe that maybe they won't be able to actually help Eric in the end. And
Mm.
Phoebe thinks, "You don't even care." And then she
Mm.
immediately turns around and says, "I didn't mean that." And I think that's such a
Yeah.
lovely moment because it's like for an episode that is so much about thoughts and people very much thinking quite straightforwardly,
Mm.
thinking what they mean a lot of the time, even though there's a bit of confusion about Jeff's thoughts. I
Yeah.
like the fact that they do in that moment with Phoebe and her sisters, they play around with the fact that what you think and what you mean aren't necessarily the exact same thing,
Mm.
and how we as people we aren't necessarily entirely our thoughts. Our thoughts can lie to us.
Yeah.
People suffer from things like intrusive thoughts, um, and those thoughts don't necessarily reflect their true character. So I think
Yeah.
there's like a touch of depth in there as well that
Yeah.
does add something to the whole concept.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think there is a moment where I think after they've cast the spell, Piper thinks something, Prue obviously hears it and says it out loud, and Piper's like, I only thought that, I didn't say that out loud. Like, I don't know, it was
Yeah,
just like you're saying about people's inner thoughts. It's like her
Mm.
brain might have thought it, but she didn't mean it in a kind of way.
Yeah,
And I
totally.
found that quite interesting as well. But no, I agree. 4 brooms for me, for the same reasons really, and also
Mm.
just because yeah, needed a little bit more with the warlocks, a little bit harder to vanquish, and there wasn't an emotional pull for me, but the comedy was
Yeah.
there.
Well, that's the thing that I forgot to mention in the Sister Bond section. Like, there's like an attempt to tie Eric's father issues in with the sisters and their own father issues as
Mm,
well. So
yeah,
you have, like, Phoebe has this whole conversation with Eric where she says that she never got the chance to know her dad, and now she doesn't really want to. And it's notable that this episode is almost an entire year after their dad came back into their lives, like really
yeah,
briefly without an episode.
yeah, that's true.
And then we have another scene where Piper and Prue are talking about their dad, and Phoebe isn't there, part of the conversation. And Piper says to Prue, "Do you miss him?" And Prue says, "I miss who he should have been, and I miss who he never was, but I don't miss
Mm,
him." And Piper says,
yeah,
"I do."
yeah,
So it's interesting because like there's no real resolution to any of that discussion about their father,
mm,
and it's the father doesn't even come back for like another whole season and a
mm,
bit. So it feels slightly out of place and a bit unresolved,
mm.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a watchable episode, but it doesn't really add much other than confirming what we already know about Dan and
Mm.
and Jack. Apart from the twin thing, you kind of
Yeah,
think, well,
exactly. Yeah.
oh, my light just went really bright then. I
What's
was like,
going on today, Shelley?
I don't know. Oh dear. Um, I saw Trina said that Sister of the Week for Trina was Phoebe. Her intuition was really good. 3 brooms for Speedway Chick for this one. 4.5 for Matthew. Trina said 4.5. I really liked it.
Mm.
Kirsty said 4.5. Misha was a bonus. Yeah.
Oh,
Melina said 3 brooms for me. It was fine, but not memorable. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
And Kirsty said, I'm going to say Piper, a Sister of the Week, because of her sass in not telling Prue she made the same mistake with the not bleeding when
yeah,
frozen thing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh. But overall, it was a good episode, really, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, shall we move on to the next episode?
let's do it.
Finally, you're
Yeah,
still here. Thank you.
yeah,
But the next episode is P3H2O, which I think is a really
yeah,
cool like title. I guess it's a play on Halloween.
yeah,
H2O
must
or
be. Yeah,
H20.
yeah,
That's what we should call it. But Halloween. Yeah, I'm guessing. But I thought it was a really
yeah.
cool title.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a magical equation or like a
Yeah.
magical
Have to think
chemical
about it.
number. Yeah, yeah,
So, while visiting the camp where the sister's mother's pattern, let me start again. What is going on tonight?
we're doing a show that goes wrong today, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my chair to suddenly throw me backwards across the
Oh,
room
something
or
else is
something.
bound to happen, isn't it?
I know.
So, let me put my teeth back in. So, while visiting the camp where the sister's mother, Patty, mysteriously drowned and died, Prue witnesses a man drowning at the hands of something lurking beneath the surface of the lake and encounters another man who tells her to leave and not return. So they learn that this man is Sam, and Sam was their mother's white lighter, who's been living near the lake for the past 20 years to prevent history from repeating itself and fearing that Prue would return and die whilst fighting the water demon in the lake like their mother did. So Prue must face her greatest fear so that the sisters can destroy the water demon together. So meanwhile, Piper discovers love letters written by her mother to Sam and is forced to reevaluate her relationship with Leo. Leo's back.
Leo. Oh, oh,
While
oh.
while Dan continues just to try and get through the door threshold.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Oh, Leo. I mean, Dan. I mean, Leo. I mean,
We're
Dan.
getting
Oh
all
my God.
confused.
Who we want?
So let's start off with mythology on this one.
Yeah.
So obviously we open up the episode with a flashback of young Prue seeing her mother's dead body being zipped up in a body bag on this pier of the lake, and Prue is literally screaming for her mom. So that straight away, you know you're going to get an emotional roller coaster episode. And it's
Oh,
clear
yeah.
from the offset that obviously maybe the circumstances around Patty's death are about to be revealed in the episode as well. So obviously Prue, it flashes to present day. Prue is visiting where it happened because she sometimes goes there to think.
Camp
And
Skylark.
yeah, Camp Skylark. And it's revealed, obviously we find out Prue has witnessed her mother drowning and has either repressed that or maybe Grams might have wiped that
Yeah.
kind of memory from her, maybe. And we also find out that Prue and Piper went to Camp Skylark the summer their mother died, making Prue 7 years old, Piper 4 years old, and Phoebe was only 2 and obviously too young to go to the camp. So what did you think of the opening scene? Like, obviously we see the phenomenal Finola Hughes again, albeit at this
In a
point
body
in a
bag.
body bag. um, but obviously we know we're going to get some more backstory to the tragedy. So what did you think of that
Yeah.
opening scene?
I loved it. I loved that it was in black and white, which is sort of quite a different thing
Yeah.
for Charm to do. I love that we discover that Prue has like taken herself off to the lake quite a lot over the years to think,
Mm,
she says. And it really feels like really in keeping with her character. Her mum's death has really haunted her for years, I think. And we've never really known quite why it affected her more than the others. And so
mm,
this opening segment of the episode where as a kid she sees her mom being like zipped up in a body bag and taken away, like that is
yeah.
pretty flipping traumatic. So it kind of
Really?
it really explains why she has lived with like the ghost of her mother hanging over her for so long, I
Mm,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. I loved it. And then sort of then you see her in the present day seeing somebody being dragged into the lake. The water
Yeah.
attacks this guy and drags him into the lake. Is he like a forest ranger or something?
Yeah, he was like randomly
Yeah,
random in a canoe,
just checking it out, having a look.
having a little paddle.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but what made me think was why was he out there? Because he must have seen this happen before, right?
yeah. Weird stuff has
Yeah.
happened.
Or maybe because it
Yeah,
is mentioned that they're about to reopen the
it's
camp
been
and
closed,
have,
hasn't it?
yeah, it's been closed for those 20 years, and then all of a sudden they want to reopen it, and they've got kids
Mm,
coming in the next day or whatnot. So maybe he was just doing his rounds on the lake, making sure it was all safe.
yeah, I loved.
Clearly
I just
wasn't.
yeah. This is one of those episodes that is, I feel like when they do a family episode, they really don't mess around. They just get straight to it. Like the same thing
Mm,
happened with that 70s episode in season one, where
yeah.
they're transported to the past in the opening pre-credit sequence. And
Mm,
in this episode, you see Prue at the lake right at the start. It sets the tone for the episode. I love that it feels like a horror movie, even though it's in the daytime. It has that sort of like um, Jaws meets Jason and Friday the 13th
yeah.
vibe to
Crystal
it.
Lake kind of vibe,
It
doesn't
does
it?
have total Crystal Lake vibes,
Mm,
and it's got that like sunny and idyllic feeling, but looks can be deceiving.
mm,
So yeah, I think it's a great start to the episode, and it's so different to what we've seen before. I think it
yeah.
feels like I don't know, it just feels like a completely different show in a really good way. It feels like big
Mm,
budget. It feels like an
yeah.
event. It feels like an event episode that is going
Yeah.
to be like really exciting and tell you so much more information about the backstory to
Mm,
Patty and the sisters and what killed her and stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. It does feel like an event, as in, like, as soon as you get, like you've said, a family centric episode, you just know it's going to be
Mm,
good. Like, I'm already sold from, that 70s episode, and things like that, then it's automatically going to be good.
Yeah.
Anything with Grams, and then obviously Finola Hughes. Obviously Grams wasn't
Yeah.
in this one, but anything like that, you just know, don't you, that it's
Hmm.
going to be good. And
And
I
it's
love
the
the
exact,
setting. Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
it's the exact same team behind the scenes that did Morality Bites. So it's,
Oh,
is it Chris Levinson and Zach Estrin are the screenwriters, and the
yeah.
director is John Bayring, and they did Morality Bites as well. It's
Interesting.
interesting to
Yeah.
see just how strong that team is.
Yeah. Oh, so, so good. So we'll come back to a bit of mythology in a minute, but jump into demon of the episode. So
Mm.
obviously we've got this water demon, which we've just mentioned. And the water demon kind of uses this bubble effect before it jumps out the water, grabs you, consumes you, and drowns you from the inside.
Oh, it's so horrible.
I know. I was like, ooh. And obviously, we see this actually happen when Mrs. Johnson, the camp owner, goes down to the lake and kind of gets captured. Although there was a really bad moment where you could actually see it was a guy. And I don't know, it wasn't
Oh,
like the
really?
CGI. If you go back and look, I think you see that it looks like a man pulling it into the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was a man that drags her in
Oh,
because
I just thought
it
it
was
was
the
like,
forest it was the forest ranger from the
oh,
opening.
now it all makes sense.
Yeah,
So, oh, okay. So
yeah,
basically, the water monster then possesses the person,
the
makes
corpse.
them
Yeah,
do the bad thing, and then drowns them. Oh, that makes it even more
yeah. Well,
sinister.
because Sam says when Sam's trying to explain the water demon to the sisters, he says it's made of water, but it thinks. Sometimes it takes over its victims' bodies to lure you to the water. Sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, that makes more sense now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you just
Okay.
thought it was like
I
some
was just
random
like,
guy.
I was like, that's really bad
It was
CGI.
that.
I could see the man in his little costume jumping out of the water, rah! dragging, dragging poor Mrs. Johnson in.
Oh,
And
Mrs.
then obviously
Johnson.
later we see it as like in its monster form. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
they must have made a mistake early. But now your version makes 10 times more sense to me now.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, what did you think then of the whole idea of a water demon in a lake?
I
Pretty
love it.
scary.
It's such a great idea, and it feels so completely original. Like
Yeah.
you know how Charmed often draws from mythology of like different countries and different
Mm,
myths and legends. Like this feels so original. I love the fact that you don't really fully know exactly what it's going to do. Like as Sam said,
mm,
sometimes it takes over its victims' bodies, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes
yeah.
it like just hurls water at you, sometimes it drags you down. Sometimes at the end of the episode, you see that it's just this like watery sort of creature thing that comes out of the water. Like,
It's like me
and
getting out of the bath.
yeah. And I don't know, I just find it, it's so creepy. It's such a dark idea that I mean, water getting in you is going to drown you anyway. But the fact that
Mm,
it's a demon doing it on purpose is not just sort of like an accidental drowning,
yeah.
it's like a purposeful drowning. It's so
Mm,
dark and so creepy. Um, and it's like, yeah, I think they just did such a good job with it. It's really
yeah.
scary.
Yeah. I always remember it kind of reminds me, like if when I was younger, my poor old brother's going to get it here again. But when we used to go into the sea, obviously, Jaws, you play up saying there's a shark, there's a shark. But I always do remember we always used to wind each other up about somebody like something else being in the water that was human. Like we had
Ooh,
very overactive imaginations, which has
yeah,
obviously gone into our adulthood.
yeah.
But like we used to scare each other, and then like one of us would dive under and grab the other one's ankles or
Oh.
something and pretend it was like this ghostly person that had died in the sea and stuff. So yeah, so we used to
Yeah.
we used to wind each other
You
up.
are the water demon.
Yeah, that's it.
They didn't name it. Let's
Ta-da!
just call it Shelley from now on.
Yeah, we'll just call it Jello. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it kind of reminded me of that, which we must have read as like a story at some point. You know, we was very into reading about ghost stories, and like if we went anywhere, we'd always like come up with like a story about the ghost that haunts like this castle or whatever. So yeah, we used to come up with all these. So we've obviously read it somewhere and then put it into our real lives.
Yeah, that's so fun.
But to me, that is genuinely scary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm quite into this, but it's
Well,
like quite sinister.
yeah, it's such a great idea as well because it would have been so easy for them to set the story at a summer camp and then just do Friday the 13th and have a guy in a mask
Mm,
going around with a machete. And the fact that
yeah,
they made the villain into the actual lake, you know, you can't even step foot in the lake because it's going to get you, like, don't get wet kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah. You can't even
Um,
step on the pier.
can't even
You
go on the pier
can't.
because it's going to try and
Yeah,
grab you.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought it was great. And like,
so
that
good.
water did not look pleasant. It looked kind of green, not
Mm,
very clean, kind of
no.
obscene.
Yeah. Josh is a poet and he didn't know it.
Yeah.
Oh
But
dear.
it's so impressive that they do manage to make this episode feel so tense, even though it's really sunny. You know,
Yeah,
there's the moment where Mrs. Johnson sees the boat is sort of like rocking against the jetty. That's like weirdly creepy. And
yeah. Because you
there's
just
that
hear
shot
the
that goes,
knocking
you
on
hear
the
the knocking,
side.
yeah.
Mm,
And there's that shot when Prue is standing at the beginning of the pier and she can't go any further. And the camera like travels up and over her. So there's an
mm,
overhead shot of her with this pier stretching ahead of her. And it's just
yeah.
like, it's really spooky and effective.
Yeah, it is. And
Great.
even that shot that you mentioned, to me, it kind of made the pier look longer than it was
Yeah,
as well, which
never ending.
obviously in, Prue's mind, it's like that's what it is. It's this long entity of something
Yeah.
where her mom died
Yeah.
effectively.
Like if she walked to
So
the end of the
just
pier,
horrific.
that's the spot
Mm,
where her mom was killed. It's horrible.
yeah. Oh, just yeah,
Poor old
awful.
Prue.
Yeah.
She gets it.
Yeah. So obviously, jumping a little bit back to mythology, so we meet Sam
Yeah.
Wilder. So he's the weird guy at the start that warns Prue
He's the
to
weird
to
guy.
not come back.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously, it's revealed that he was Patty's white lighter, so the sister's mum's white lighter. And when their mum died, he clipped his wings and became mortal.
Mm.
So obviously, this is the first time we
Because he
introduce.
was in love with her.
He was in love with her, like
Yeah.
really in love with her, which
Yeah.
is really sweet. So obviously, this is the first time we're introduced to Sam,
Hmm.
and obviously ties Sam to the Charmed Ones via Patty. And not to spoil anything for anyone if you haven't known, there is a deeper revelation down the line, isn't there, concerning
Yeah.
that connection, which we
Yeah.
find out couple of
Season
years
4.
later,
Yeah.
maybe. I won't give it away
It's almost
here.
like they knew because it fits so perfectly.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that maybe they put, without revealing what it is, maybe they put a plan B in place in case one of the actresses ever left and they thought, aha,
Yeah.
we'll put a plan B. Do you think they were that clever to put a plan B in place at
No.
that point? No. I was
No.
just like, I wonder if
Yeah.
someone thought,
I think it was just a really, really happy coincidence or happy
yeah,
accident because I feel like what they were really doing was trying to set up a parallel. This is an episode all about history repeating itself. So I
mm,
think that their main goal was to set up a parallel between Patty and her white lighter Sam and Piper and their white lighter Leo. I think that was all
yeah,
they were doing. And they did it really, really bloody effectively.
yeah.
But I don't think they were thinking about bringing in
Ah,
another sister or any of that. I think
yeah.
that, yeah, they just did it for this
It just
episode.
was a happy coincidence down the
I
line,
think so.
basically.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they were very smart to sort of come up with that idea because it does fit so perfectly and it
yeah.
doesn't feel illogical. It feels
No, no.
completely, yeah. So yeah,
Hmm.
mm.
So, what did you think of Sam then? Like, did you like that? We liked the whole white lighter backstory and the love story. What did you think of Sam? Was he suitable for Patty? Because we love Patty.
Yeah. I loved him. I loved that he was the prophet of doom. You know how in a horror movie there's always a character who's like, "You're all gonna die."
Yeah.
Like that
Stay
was
away
Sam.
from the lake.
Don't go in the water. So I love that he kind of started out as a prophet of doom, so you kind of have one impression of him. And then as
Mm,
the episode goes, like he keeps changing. First he's a prophet of doom, then you find out he's a white lighter, and then you find out he was actually Patty's lover. So it's almost like
mm,
you're discovering his
layered.
layers
Yeah.
as the episode goes along.
Yeah.
And I thought he was great. Like he has such a strong sense of tragedy to him. Like this is a
Mm,
guy who's completely living in the past. He's never
mm,
got over the fact that he couldn't save the woman that he loved.
yeah.
Um, and I feel like his scenes with Prue in particular have such a sense of like weight and gravity and sadness because she
Mm,
holds him responsible. She's very angry at him and he's
yeah.
angry at himself. You know,
Yeah.
but in his eyes also he's trying to protect her by keeping her
Mm,
away from the lake. So it's
mm,
really complex and interesting, I thought.
yeah. I loved the tragedy behind him, really, as in, he clipped his wings basically,
Mm,
and he gave up that life because that was his exploring his grief, really. Like he
yeah,
just couldn't go on because he loved Patty that much. He just couldn't continue as a white lighter. And to
yeah,
make him then mortal gives him a death sentence,
yeah,
essentially, doesn't it? Because he's not a white lighter anymore. So he's
yeah,
accepting that one day he then can be with Patty again in that
yeah,
respect.
definitely.
And that to me just made it, I was just like, oh, yeah, he's got me there because I think,
Yeah,
well, that's just beautiful, really, because he just wants to be with her.
yeah.
So he's made himself mortal for when that day comes. If that
He's
makes
kind of,
sense.
yeah, but he's kind of punishing himself as well. You know, he's not allowing
Mm,
himself to have a life
no.
beyond that moment, that really awful moment. So
Mm,
yeah, it's just yeah, it's really sad. And the actor who played him is great and brings
yeah.
so much to that role.
Yeah.
You can really
Brilliant.
see with his like conflict and his pain and
Yeah.
desperation for history not to repeat itself.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
bless him. Um, and obviously, as the episode goes on, Sam essentially he dies at the end of the episode because he's protecting the sisters and he helps them vanquish this water demon. And then you see that scene where he reunites with Patty in the afterlife, and oh, I tell you, my tissues
are
were
you tearing
out.
up?
Oh,
Yeah,
it was emotional, like just to see them knowing what he's been through and how he couldn't save her and that to then be reunited and to see that, I just thought it was really beautiful the way they did
yeah.
it.
It
I
was
thought it
lovely,
was
and
lovely.
I thought it was such a lovely touch that when they are sort of like ghosts reunited, they turn around together and they walk towards the lake. You know, they don't walk away from the
Yeah,
lake, they
they
actually
walked
walk
towards
towards
it.
it. And it's almost like this message that the lake is safe now because of
Mm,
what Sam has done. So
yeah.
yeah, it's really
Oh,
touching.
yeah, it's touching.
And
And
don't
obviously,
they play Sarah McLachlan over it as well, which is
yeah,
like,
which is just emotional as it is.
yeah, yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, I love that
And I
bit.
love that shot, that final shot when of the jetty when Prue and Leo and Piper and Phoebe, they're all on the jetty together, and the
Mm,
camera just like slowly drifts back across the lake away from them, and it's like a
yeah.
moment to just sort of absorb everything that has just happened.
Mm,
And then the next shot is Prue in the office in like slow-mo, like walking down the corridor, and it's
yeah,
just
I
like
love
it's just
that like
lovely little
slow
touches.
mo thing in that awesome
Yeah,
like cardigan showing her bra and like
yeah,
she looked phenomenal.
that pink cardigan.
Oh,
Do you know what
she looked
struck me
phenomenal.
about? I don't know how much of this can actually be true, but it struck me that the cardigan that she's wearing and the blue bra that she's wearing are the exact
Mm.
same colours that the clone Prues wear in Which Prue Is It Anyway?
Oh
And
yes.
that episode was directed by the same director who directed this episode.
Oh, interesting.
And she's wearing that outfit at the end of P3H2O. And it's almost like it's in that moment when she has defeated the monster that killed her mum, and she's having a moment of sort of acceptance and peace, I suppose. And it's almost like she's feeling empowered. And
Yeah.
you're kind of seeing it. I don't know if this is what they wanted when they dressed her in those colours, but it felt like she was so fully herself in a way that she
Yeah.
wasn't at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, I love that, Josh. I love that you picked that up as well.
Maybe I'm just
That's
reading
just,
way more into it than that actually is,
I
but
believe what you've said, and I
yeah,
really, really hope that that is true, that that's what they did.
let's make it
Um,
canon. I like to think so. Let's
yeah,
make it canon.
if we
Yeah.
says it, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. If you heard it on
Oh
Charm
dear.
Chat, it's totally true.
Oh yeah, I love that. Oh, so emotional. I
Yeah.
did shed a few little tears.
Yeah.
A couple of other things under mythology. I've got Sam using the powder to make the sisters sleepy, which I thought that was quite a funny scene.
The
So obviously
memory dust.
the memory dust. So he uses the memory dust on them, and then Phoebe uses the memory dust on the kids, and we never hear
Yeah.
about the kids ever again.
I know.
Are
They
they
forgot about
okay?
them.
And obviously, we've seen this memory dust before in the prior episode. I think it was the Devil's Music,
It was, yeah.
and Leo uses it.
On Jenny and the
Yeah, so I
groupies,
kind of
yeah.
like that we were seeing that again, and
And but
understanding a
like
bit more what it
but like we
was.
said with the Devil's Music episode, so Leo in that episode says that he got the memory dust from the witch. And in this
Mm,
episode, Sam apparently had some memory dust left over from Patty.
yeah,
But then later on down the line, I swear that White Lighters just had memory
just have it.
dust. You know,
Oh,
as like part of their arsenal.
oh, perhaps they
Yeah,
just go around collecting it from every
probably.
witch that they look after.
Maybe Leo, at the end of this episode, Leo went up to the elders and was like, look, we really need to like really invest in memory dust because it's really useful. We've used it quite a lot lately, and I feel like this is the
Yeah, it's
future,
been in a few
guys.
episodes now.
Yeah, let's just make it our own.
I
Memory
love
dust
that.
TM.
And obviously, this is the first episode as well, which we see Leo orbing one of the sisters to another location,
Yeah,
which I thought was a really sweet moment between Leo and Piper, where she kind of just her head on him and
yeah.
they orb
They
together.
orbs the lake.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
love
kind of
that.
like him. Yeah, he's like they're taking the next step in their white lighter
Yeah,
initiation
sweet.
scheme. Yeah,
Oh, and then obviously it's the first kind of time that we see, obviously for obvious reasons, we see Patty using her
yeah,
power,
freezing power.
which I thought was pretty cool seeing that. I kind of
Yeah,
like that. I was like, yeah, Patty. And then I was like, oh no,
she's dead.
Patty.
Daddy.
So
I
thought
wonder if
those were
Holly
pretty
Marie
cool.
Combs gave her some pointers on how to do the hands for the
Yeah,
freezing power.
love
Yeah.
that. Did you have anything else under mythology?
Um, the only thing that I have. Oh, so this is when Dan says to Piper, "What do you say tomorrow when Jenny's at school? We have breakfast for real." So Jenny is still living with him right now.
Yeah,
We
at
just haven't
that
seen her for a
point.
while.
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
true.
Jenny's still in the
Ah,
picture.
she's still there.
And this is sort of like maybe a bit of a continuity thing, but when when they find Patty's love letters to Sam, which is obviously written in her handwriting is definitely different to the handwriting that was in the book for the From Fear to Eternity episode.
Ah,
Do you remember when they were like, "Oh, it's Mom's writing in the book," and it was
yeah,
like they printed it off a computer. It was clearly
yeah,
not someone's handwriting. In this episode, it definitely is someone's
yeah,
handwriting. Yeah.
definitely.
On very nice, personalized paper, like flowery
Yeah, look very
note
like
paper.
a good thick note paper.
Yeah,
Very
that's a
nice,
sign of the
expensive.
times. Good
Yeah,
quality writing paper.
definitely.
Don't get that anymore.
Just check some comments. So Kirsty said, "Isn't it just H2O as in water demon?" Yeah, I think we were probably overthinking it, to
Well,
be honest.
I do think that there's a parallel between P3H2O this episode and Halloween H2O because if you think about it, in Halloween H2O, it's about a mum trying to protect her
Mm,
son from basically a monster, which is Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So you could say that there are parallels
Yeah.
between the two.
Could be.
And Halloween
Yeah.
H2O came out the year before this episode, so
So
I think it's a reference to that. Also, I just love H2O. So.
Yeah, I do as well. We need to do
Such
that
a
for a
good film.
movie club, definitely.
Yes.
Matthew said this one had a Friday the 13th vibe. It even looked like Crystal Lake. Yeah, it really did. Matthew said if she didn't let him in the front door, I think this is Dan, I don't know how he thought she'd let him in the back door.
So to speak.
I was trying not to laugh. I was trying so hard. I'm speechless.
Quick, read out another comment.
Kirsty said, although if she goes there to think, why hasn't Sam seen her before? Yeah, so that's a good point. So if she goes there all the time to think, why hasn't Sam seen her there before? Or maybe he has and he's just kept out of the way, maybe. Yeah.
That is a little blooper, not blooper, continued,
Milena said, I love all the episodes exploring the sisters' family backstory. They're all done so well. Yeah, so true. And then Matthew said, poor Mrs. Johnson. Yeah. Trina said,
sorry, Miss Johnson.
The water demon's coming. No. For real. Trina said, I always enjoy these backstory episodes too. They have so much depth.
Yeah, they do.
Trina said, I love Sam. The actor did a great job of portraying emotion. I nearly cried. Yeah. Matthew said the wing clipping didn't just make him mortal, it made him mortal with a dad bod.
True.
Yeah. Matthew said, I love dad bods, by the way, not making fun. I've got one myself. I love that. Trina said, I felt for Leo too in this one, the ending, crying face. I feel like I'm getting darker because it was light outside when
it's dark now,
Yeah. Let me see if I can. I've got
8
this.
o'clock.
I've got like I've got like this new ring light and it's just like so bright. That'll do. I don't think I've made it any brighter, but anyway.
No.
Just I think it looks worse.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
That'll do. I was like, I can't see. So the sister bond then. So obviously the script explores the idea of, as you've mentioned, history repeating itself. And notably, Prue's terror that life is becoming her life's becoming more and more like Patty's, making her worry that she'll suffer a similar fate and that her life will get cut short before she can experience anything truly meaningful. And Prue claims that it seems to be, she's very much, everyone tells her she looks like her mother. She's, the characteristics are of her mother. So, and that she feels it could be a real possibility that she could die young, which 2 years later, and funny enough, spoiler a little bit for what happens, but an elemental demon is involved in that, if I remember right as well.
Yeah.
So did you really feel for Prue in that moment that, she's having to try and deal with all this, but also thinking about her own life at the same time? I felt so sorry for her.
I totally relate. Like, personal aside, like my mum died when I was 21. And that stuff, it stays with you. And you do sort of think, like, I'm 42, my mum was 49. And I'm like creeping towards the age that mum was when she died. And like, I can't really think about my life beyond 49 because it sort of feels weirdly history might repeat itself, but it's not a logical thought process.
No, but it's
emotional.
It's still there. It's still a relevant thought.
So I totally relate to Prue in those moments where you can see that when Mrs. Johnson says that she looks more and more like her mother every day, she takes it as like like takes it really offensively, and Phoebe
Mm,
says to her it's a compliment, it's not a curse.
yeah.
And it is a really, yeah, I think it is a really difficult thing to come to terms with, the fact that in some ways it's a lovely idea that your
Mm,
mother is alive in you. You know, she created you and you have inherited
yeah.
certain characteristics from your mother. And that's like they are still living through you. But
Mm,
that's almost a burden for Prue. It's such a responsibility. You know, when her mum died, she had to become the mum. She stepped up and raised her sisters, obviously with
yeah.
Grams's help, but she was very much the mother figure.
Mm,
There's even a line at the beginning of this episode when Piper says to Prue, "Point taken, Mom," you know, like makes a
mm,
joke. But that really, like, it hits. You can see it
yeah.
hits Prue because she doesn't want to be her mom because it just brought so much pain and grief to her life when she died.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I really felt for her in this episode.
And Shannon
Yeah,
Doherty, as we always say, she plays it
yeah,
amazing, like spot on. You really
mm,
feel what she's going through.
you do. Yeah,
Um,
and it really does add so much depth to the sisters' relationship because
yeah.
the regular episodes we don't really see them having to deal with such enormously weighty issues like their own shared trauma over their mother's death.
Mm,
So when this sort of story brings it all to the surface, like it does in Water,
yeah.
um, it
Parallels.
really it
Yeah.
really does bring some massive sister drama into the mix.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, and obviously with this kind of backstory, like exploring the sister bond in this episode, obviously the sister bond had to be super tight.
yeah.
And I think they accomplished that in this episode. They seemed like one, didn't they? They were
Hmm.
all on the same page. They
Yeah.
supported each other. Like there was no drama between them or anything. They got on with what they needed to do, and even like Phoebe's anger, especially of when she's being asked to have that experience of the premonition, going back in time, seeing the well, it's not a premonition but a
Yeah, the
vision,
backwards version.
yeah, of
Yeah.
like her mother's murder essentially, and she was
Hmm.
only 2 when this happened, so she's having to then live that and have that memory of seeing that, and it's a real moment of horror there,
Yeah.
and like, but they're all
It
so
really is.
supportive to each other as well.
Well, because Phoebe initially gets really angry at Prue because Prue says, "Well, I know somebody who can see anything,"
Yeah.
because they're trying to figure out how they can vanquish the demon. What was Patty's plan? And
Mm,
Phoebe is sort of like, "You have got to be kidding me! Like you deny having any resemblance to Mom. You run from the
mm,
past, and yet you want me to relive her worst moment."
yeah.
And she does have to relive it as, through her
Yeah.
premonition. And it's sort of such a powerful moment.
Yeah.
And you almost feel like, well, I didn't fully understand what was motivating Prue in that moment because you feel like she has protected her sisters so much over the years
Mm,
that you would imagine that Prue wouldn't want Phoebe to have to experience what baby Prue did when she saw her mum being put in the body bag.
yeah.
And yet, I guess maybe it's a sign that she now sees her sisters as grown-ups, that she kind
Mm,
of says, well, you know, that's the only option we have. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah. Because I just kept thinking so much that, oh, Phoebe had no memory of this, had
Mm,
just has heard through it through her sisters, and now she's got that memory
yeah.
horrifically etched on her brain. Like,
Hmm.
oh, it was just, but it was so well done the way it was done as
Yeah.
well.
And we don't know that Prue actually saw what Phoebe saw. Prue only saw her mum in
Yeah.
the body bag. She didn't see her mum fighting the demon or
No.
any of that stuff. So, if anything, Phoebe's experience of it is kind of worse, to a
Mm.
certain
Yeah,
degree.
she's seen it,
And
seen it all, exactly what
yeah,
happened.
yeah, seeing her mum
Yeah.
actually die.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's very
horrific.
sad.
Yeah. Um, so Love is Pain then. So we've got obviously Piper discovering that she's not the first Halliwell to have a relationship with a
Mm.
white lighter. Obviously, as we've mentioned, it's revealed that Patty had an affair with Sam, the white lighter, and a romance very much like Piper and Leo. So we've got that parallel there.
Mm.
And then Piper obviously finds these love letters between Patty and Sam, and it just echoes exactly what Piper is going through with her relationship with Leo. So
Yeah.
did you like that parallel? Like, did you feel for Piper in that moment, discovering
Yeah.
those letters?
I think they did it so well because it could have been really saccharine and a bit gross. But I
Mm,
think because it is so tinged in tragedy,
yeah.
it really does, it works. And I mean, the music is lovely. It's sort of
Oh, it's
really
lovely.
soft and sad music. Um, and I love the way that the characters perceive the parallels. Like Piper says, it's like I could have written these, and Leo says, I wish you had.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, it's really like this. There's oddly like kind of a bit of a queer reading to it because it's like a forbidden romance.
yeah.
And it's like in the present day world of the show, we see how Piper and Leo sort of like break down the barriers placed
Mm,
against them that say that prevent them from having a relationship. Whereas back in the past, 20 years ago, Patty
mm.
and what's
Sam.
his name? Sam,
Sam.
they their relationship is so completely forbidden and taboo in very much a similar way that queer relationships were. So I think
Yeah.
there can be a queer reading for this, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. And
yeah.
even like that moment when Leo and Piper are sitting reading the letters, loudly out loud to each other. And even Leo, you see it in his face that he's just realizing
Mm,
this is us. This is exactly the same. And like even when
yeah.
you get to the end where they're having that chat in the kitchen, like I think that's the first time I see Leo actually have like a realization of what Piper's getting at when she's
Yeah.
saying we can't do this, it's not viable or whatnot, we have
What's there?
to let it go. And I think at
Yeah.
that moment that's the first time Leo kind of realizes actually, yeah, like
Yeah.
this is real.
Yeah.
This is
Well, there's
pain. Real
nothing.
love is pain.
Love is pain, especially in this episode.
Yeah.
There is there is power in seeing your own experience sort of reflected back at you, I think.
Mm,
And that's why things like representation and own voices and that's so
yeah.
important for people who feel marginalized or misunderstood or confused. There's so much value in actually seeing other people having experienced what you experienced
Yeah,
and sort of helping you to understand it and justifying it for you and validating your experience.
yeah,
So I think it probably is a bit of a wake up call for Leo where he
mm,
sees what has happened in the past, how what Piper and Leo are going through feels like impossible, but they might be able to find a way to it.
yeah,
He says to Sam, how does it feel to be mortal? So he's thinking about how much he does love Piper and what he might
mm,
sacrifice for
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Yeah,
And again, the acting at that moment with, Brian Krause as Leo, you could just see it's just etched all over his face, like
yeah,
completely. And the same with Holly Marie Coombs. They're just,
hmm
yeah, perfect.
yeah, and it's great that Leo can't heal her poison ivy rash, and she's kind of like, well, why can't you heal this
Yeah,
rash? And he says that there's always a reason that he can or can't do things,
yeah,
and so the reason for that is that they end up stuck together in the house reading these letters, and it serves a
yeah,
purpose for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, bless them.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously now we know what we know about Patty and Sam's love, which is kind of a parallel on Piper and Leo. Are we still Team Dan? Are we still liking that Piper's exploring this with Dan? Although they seemed a little bit more hesitant, I thought.
Yeah. She at the beginning she was very lovey-dovey. Phoebe
Yeah.
tells her that she's killing her with cuteness because Piper's on the phone to Dan and they're talking about what they're doing with their cereal.
Yeah.
They're pouring, chewing. Um,
We've all been there,
And
Josh.
yeah, yeah. Well, they've been to they've done their Lake Tahoe trip together, so you imagine that
Mm.
things got pretty heated over there,
Yeah,
maybe.
we can imagine.
Um, but Piper's definitely doing the family emergency thing. Like he
Yeah.
offers to look after her and make her dinner, and she sort of says, "I kind of got an emergency." And
Mm.
Dan, there's a really poignant moment. Like Piper's talking to Dan at the front door, and Leo is like standing behind the front door
Yeah.
as they're having a conversation, which is like slightly awkward. But Dan says to Piper, "I'm just glad you can tell me things." And Piper says, "Well, I feel like I can tell you anything." And then she
Mm.
shuts the door and says, "Except that there's a demon." And Leo says, "And that you're a witch."
Yeah.
And it is sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah, there is maybe a bit of a time limit on this
Bittersweet.
Piper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Leo is there being like, you can't be fully honest with him, but you also can't completely have me either. So
Mm.
it's not really fair, I don't think.
No,
It's not fair on
no,
Piper.
no, definitely not.
She needs to meet a nice warlock.
A nice warlock.
Yeah, like a
Not
nice
like
beard
Jeremy.
warlock. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll just read out some of it. Love is
Yeah.
pain, love is time, heartbreak.
Yeah.
He says she's going to.
Oh, have you frozen or have I frozen?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm still
You
here.
were going,
You hear?
yeah.
I'm
We're still
here.
recording the podcast though, so it's all
Yeah.
fine. Maybe it's my internet. I don't know. Shelley's internet. Shelley's robotic.
Yeah.
It's like you're underwater.
Oh
No,
no!
keep free
What have I got
H2O.
it? Oh no! I'm frozen. Oh no! Am I back?
Oh,
I'll
you're
just
coming
keep
back.
going. Am
You're
I back?
emerging. Yeah, you're emerging. Oh no, now I'm offline. Oh no. Gosh darn it.
Oh, I'm still good.
I'm back on.
Now.
I'm still recording. It's all good.
Tell
Yeah.
me, comments. I'm still here.
You're still being robotic, but you are here.
I'm back.
No, you're back. You're back. You're back in the
Oh,
room. Yeah. Oh no. She's gone again. It's like you're singing a little song. You're singing a little robot song. It's actually quite creepy. Should we come off and come on again?
I then can't because it will cut the chat.
Oh yeah. You're back now. You're fine. You're
Am I
fine.
back? Right, let's
Yeah, you're back.
quick.
Go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh God, fingers crossed. So work it. Job
But we haven't
drama.
finished Love is Pain yet.
Didn't we? Finish Love is
No.
Pain first then.
Because Piper says that they have to stop working together. Piper and Leo.
Oh yeah.
And she says, "I don't know how to say goodbye." And Leo says, "Don't."
Oh.
And then that's when Dan eats his cereal really sexy.
Eats his sexy cereal.
Yeah, very Mills and Boone.
It was.
And he still doesn't make it in the house.
No, he just goes, as we said, out the back door.
Yeah.
Did you have any?
Now that's Love is Pain. Done.
So now, work it. So obviously, Prue goes to the auction house. Jack is sitting in Prue's office. Well, we presume it's Jack and not Jeff. His work attire is obviously shirt and shorts, strangely like his twin that's never mentioned again. Yeah, flip-flops, yeah. So Jack has now got a job at the auction house, and Jack seems to be reveling in taking great care of Prue's client while she's not there. And Prue is quite reluctant at first, but then Jack does give Prue credit for the sale at the end.
It does.
What did you think of that whole storyline? Was it worth putting that in at this moment?
Um,
I was a bit like, I'm not
I
sure it
guess
was
it keeps it,
needed.
yeah, it keeps it ticking along,
Yeah.
and I guess it kind of gives Prue something in the present to focus on. It like it breaks up her morose sort of mother drama a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of shows us that she still is living her life and focusing on important things like her job and her future, even though she's worried that history will repeat itself. And then I
Yeah.
guess at the end, she kind of oh yeah, she says that mixing business and pleasure can have some very nasty consequences, but it also can bear some fruitful rewards.
Oh,
So there's kind
flirty,
of
flirty.
yeah, I
While
guess
she's
it
in
gives
her
her like
gorgeous cardigan.
a beautiful cardigan. I'd wear that cardigan.
Yeah.
It gives her like a moment of hope at the end of quite a sort of tiring, exhausting episode.
Yeah. Yeah,
So it kind of
definitely.
doesn't. You do come in with that, I guess.
Yeah. So that's all I had for work. It was kind
Well,
of wondering what you thought of that. What
the
did you have?
only thing that stood out for me in that whole work situation at Buckland's was that their banter is sort of based around suitable work attire and how Prue is wearing like a strappy backless sleeveless top to
Yeah.
work, and so Jack is wearing Bermuda shorts and flip-flops because he says that it's double standards if he doesn't get to show off a bit of skin when Prue does. So it's
Yeah.
kind of, I guess it's a very timely observation to make because in season one, Prue would never have worn anything that sort of revealing in the office. Whereas season two, Prue, she's all about the bright colours and strappy tops.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's not a
Yeah.
plot, it's not a plot line that could have happened in season one, I think, which is what makes it interesting, I suppose.
Yeah. I wonder whether they put that in so that we
Mm,
noticed those, the new attire and the clothes and
probably.
stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
hard not to notice really because they just look so beautiful, but
they do.
yeah.
I also did love the way that Shannon Doherty said, Fujimoto,
Yeah.
Mr. Fujimoto. Because I think in Japanese it's actually like Fujimoto or something like that. It's completely
Yeah.
different. So,
And the way Jack just knows Japanese as well, that
yes,
was unexpected.
that
That
was
was
very
very
unexpected. So
unexpected.
that's why I think, yeah, he's got a bit of intelligence to him. He's kind of
Yeah, he just acts the fool, maybe a
takes
little
someone very
bit.
smart to act that stupid. Yeah.
Okay. So, any sign of the times in this one?
I loved the old-fashioned 70s police siren that you hear in the flashback.
Oh,
Um, so
yeah.
when Prue's having the memory of baby Prue seeing her mum on the dock dead, and there's like ambulances and police cars, you hear this like very old-fashioned police siren, which is just like a really lovely touch and really like nostalgic and creepy at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
But now you've said it, I can hear it and picture
yeah.
it. Definitely. Yeah.
It's like a gremlin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got the Phoebe's choker that she's wearing, very
yeah,
sign of the times, and that kind of skirt over, well, like that lopsided skirt over
yeah.
trousers look. That was like really 1999.
I
Like if
like it, but it's quite strange, isn't it?
yeah, like if you look at any of so if you're watching this and you're from the US, I'm not sure whether you would have heard them, but Steps. So
Yeah.
any Steps videos from 1999 or around that time, they do that look quite a lot.
And it's kind of a unisex look, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because the
yeah,
guys in Steps wore it.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I
Pretty
totally forgot
cool.
about that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I love that.
I also
um,
liked Phoebe's like space Oreo cookie pajamas that she wears.
yes.
That's
I
so
was like, I
cool.
want them.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
loved how as well, like she had full pajama set on, and the other two were like, in
yeah.
like,
Little,
little shorts
yeah.
and whatever. And she was like, she likes her cozy Jimmy jammies.
She does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought like Phoebe's the one who normally has like the cereal obsession. You know, there
Mm,
was that whole episode where she was mixing her cereals together to make some absolutely
yeah.
disgusting monstrosity. But now suddenly Piper is the one who's eating cereal with Dan, and
Yeah. Oh,
maybe she's picked up
I
some
do
bad
love a good
habits.
cereal though.
Love a
Sometimes I
bowl of
have cereal for
cereal.
my tea.
Yeah, breakfast for dinner is the
Yeah.
best. Bran flakes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Mm. Yum, yum,
Weetabix.
yum. Yeah. I just checked some comments. So Matthew says Prue was working her midriff at work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about the cardigan, Kirsty said, but is it a patch on the Wicked sex cardigan? So have you seen Wicked Part 2?
No.
No. Oh, okay. Well, when they have the naughty, sexy, sexy times, she wears this cardigan. It's the like biggest, ugliest cardigan ever. Anyway,
Weird.
yeah.
Who has sexy time?
Well, Alphabet and
Oh, Jonathan Bailey.
Prero, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm. I've just spoiled Wicked for people.
Oh well,
But that
came out
cardigan,
last year.
unforgivable.
Yeah.
That must be where I'm going wrong. Anyway, that's where I'm going wrong in life. Matthew said, I've heard of steps.
Steps are
Yeah.
great. They've got some
Five,
great
six,
songs.
seven, eight.
Yeah.
Uh,
27,
yeah, so
22,
good. I love
too
how you know all
bad.
the moves.
I'm making it up.
And Prue, Speedway Chic said Prue had some roll down shorts. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
So, charming dialogue. What have you got for this one? I wonder if we've got the same.
There's a couple that I've already said, but I know, I mean, you must have this one. It's when they are trying to find Sam and they break into the building
Yeah.
and Phoebe says, "Be very, very quiet. We're hunting demons."
Yes, I've got that
Like
one.
Elmer Fudd.
I loved
So
it. It's
good.
like a Bugs Bunny Elmer Fudd reference. Just
Yeah,
the way she
yeah.
said it.
I know.
And I really, really like to think that she just said that off the cuff and it wasn't in the script.
Yeah, she made it up.
Yeah, she just was like, oh, just something that she says and she managed to get it
Yeah.
in. What else have you got?
I have Phoebe saying, "This is personal for us, Leo," and Piper saying, "Leo doesn't do personal anymore. He just does his job."
Yes. Oh.
Yikes. Yikes, love is pain.
I had that one as well. Um,
That's it for me.
the other one I had was I can't remember who said it, but somebody said it's about a demon who's waiting till tomorrow for brunch to be served.
Yeah, for the kids going in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So who was your sister of the episode?
Leo, no. It's got to
Because
be Prue. I mean, it's
yeah,
another tough one because they all have
it's
their
tough.
moments.
But
And
Prue,
Phoebe arguably gets the most powerful emotional moment when she relives her mother's death.
hmm,
But this is the Prue episode. This is all about her loss and her sorrow and her attempts to come to terms with what happened 20 years ago. And she looked great when her hair was all wet from the demon.
yeah,
Yeah, she was great.
yeah. I
All about
totally
it.
agree. I totally agree. Prue for me.
Yeah,
Definitely just for, she from going to the lake, she brought us a good episode,
she did.
which was full of emotion and yeah, and just everything we wanted from an episode, really.
Yeah.
And she just looks so good, and yeah. But as you
Mm.
say, it's a tough one because they all like Leo and the Piper storyline,
Mm.
Phoebe having to relive that tragedy. They were all so good. Really tough to decide, really.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, how many brooms out of five would you give this one?
This one is like a rock solid 5 for
Yeah,
me.
same. I wrote
It
five
doesn't get
down.
better than this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
so, so good.
I actually think this was one of the first ever episodes that I watched as well.
Oh wow, that isn't that so weird? Because
Yeah.
I think this was like when I got into it, because I've definitely seen this before.
Yeah. Because I think
Yeah.
that season 1 had started on Channel 5 in the UK. And then I think I've maybe seen a couple of episodes and I was kind of enjoying it. And then I went to stay with my grandparents, and my granddad had Sky TV, and we didn't have that
Yeah.
at home. And Sky were like a whole year ahead of us on Channel 5. And
Mm.
this is the episode that I tuned into when I was staying at my granddad's.
Oh, wow.
And I just thought it was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And I think that is what turned me into a Charmed fan. And then I was
Oh,
excited to sort of like get through season 1 and then pick up from this one,
yeah.
getting into season 2. So yeah, so lots
Josh,
of like
that makes me like so happy because honestly, this was like the first one I think I
crazy.
saw. How weird is that?
Right.
That
It's
that
such an event episode. I love that
yeah,
that's the one that got us.
yeah. I'd obviously heard of Charmed and I'd seen it going around, but I know this was the first one I watched, definitely.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love that we've got that parallel as
I
well. How
know.
strange is
Oh,
that? I
Shelley,
love
we're just the
that.
same person.
Oh, we
It just
are.
like watching this one out of sync, out of context, having only seen a
Mm,
few episodes of season 1. Like the
yeah.
contrast between early season 1 and then this
Mm,
episode is so huge.
yeah.
But they're just like two different shows in like a really good way, I think.
Yeah. No,
So, but this
definitely.
one just feels so cinematic, so
Mm,
emotional, so grown up in the themes that it's exploring. Great demon, great
yeah.
setting. Like it's just got so much going for
Yeah. Yeah. I
it.
agree. Well said. Can't say any better than
Yeah.
that. So Kirsty said 5 brooms, Trina said 5 brooms, Matthew 5 brooms, and
Oh,
Trina said Piper, sister of the week. Yeah.
oh,
Oh, I'm so
yeah.
glad you all loved that
We
episode as
all loved
well.
it.
Oh, what about our guy in
Hey?
the our guy
Oh.
in the It's been a long night. We've been we've been
Oh.
through like all sorts of technical issues. Oh
All right, here
dear.
you go. He said 5 out of 5.
Yes.
Yeah, he says the quality of Charm's second season continues at a high level with this story of life turning in circles and of facing your demons. Um, the series' soapy moments continue apace, with Prue furthering her relationship with workmate Jack, and Piper being drawn into a decision between Leo and Diet Coke neighbor in touching, well-written scenes. This results in Phoebe being rather left out, though her one significant scene, reliving her mother's death, is the episode's most horribly powerful. All that's left to ponder All that's left is to wonder if we should start a fund to buy the girls a whole new top between them, while Sarah McLachlan fans should listen out for episode closing I Love You. Does this
Yeah.
female singer sponsor all the good US TV shows?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's the
Oh
page. There it
yeah.
is.
Oh, at least like he was on the same wavelength as us with
Yeah,
this. Oh,
yeah. And then
brilliant.
it gets a bit rocky from here on out. Yeah,
Oh, we just can't stay nice.
I know.
Yeah, like Kirsty said, he was in a good mood for these
Yeah, he
few.
was.
Yeah. Um, Speed Rating said 5 rooms as well. But
Very
oh,
good.
Josh, I
Thanks,
know
Shelley.
this is like the longest one.
Oh,
And if you're still here and you put up with our technical difficulties,
yeah, thank
thank you,
you.
thank you, thank
We're gonna
you.
figure out we're gonna figure out how to not have that happen next
Yeah.
time.
So whatever Kevin did,
Yeah,
he fixed it because it never went off again.
yeah,
So
exactly.
hopefully.
Thanks,
But
Kev.
Josh, I
Thanks,
know, bless
Shelley.
him. Thanks, Josh. Like I was
Thanks,
dying
Shelley.
to chat about these, and I was like, how are we going to cram all this stuff that happens in these episodes
I know.
into the chat? But we managed to do it.
We did
Hopefully.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still feel like there's so much more we could have talked about in these episodes,
I could have
but
gone on forever, to be
yeah, we're
honest.
just gonna have to accept it. Yeah.
Oh, and thanks to everyone in the comments
Thanks,
for joining
everyone.
us as well. And we'll see you again next month
See you next
for
month.
more Charm Chat. And I think, did Josh say the next one's good as well?
Next one's
Fingers
great.
crossed.
Yeah. You're in for a surprise.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Bye,
everyone. Thanks,
everyone.
Josh.
See
Bye.
ya. Bye, bye,
Bye.
bye.